Glory 93.9 FM, the people's favorite gospel station.
I'm good today, so turn it up and let the music play. Sun's out, not a single rain cloud in the sky. And Mrs. Green got a smile on her face. Okay, check. I'm feeling blessed. I got some bills, but got no stress. I ain't gon' stress. The cards was dealt, he holds the debt. Knowing that, tell me why I'm gon' fret. Switch it up, yo, como estas, muchacho, vámonos. Like the grill, everybody down for dominoes. Ha. Yeah, we having a good time. Everybody in the hood and it's good vibes. Good vibes every time we meet up. No one beefing, so we throw the piece up. Throw your piece up, celebrate your seed into the kingdom of heaven, cause we gon' dance the streets. Come on, get it.
Morning and I think I'm gonna change the world. I'm looking back on how I thought things would stay the same. I know it's gonna be, yes I know it's gonna be a good day. I got sunshine on me, not worry about those rainy days. He will supply my needs. That's why I fully trust in Him. I'll never go a day without you by my side, by my side. Woke me up this morning, sent me on my way, chilling with my neighbors. Man, it's a new day.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Glory 93.9 FM, your favorite gospel station. Sounds in the background is E-Man featuring Carrington McKenzie with Good Vibes here on a beautiful Saturday. 20 minutes now to the 2 o'clock hour. Hope you are enjoying your day. If you're listening to us via radio in your cars or at home, or you're listening on TuneIn Radio, or you're locked in on Facebook and YouTube as we get ready to start that. Good morning, team of Delton and Vera. So glad to have you with us. So glad to be in your company on this Saturday. So we go ahead. For those who are on Facebook and YouTube, please like and share. Put it out there. Let your friends know we coming to talk on DGMT. We've been gone for a while. We gonna explain where we been. We gonna break it down, say what's happening, what did not happen, and why it didn't happen, and what should have happened. But we're gonna be out. Give us about 1 minute as we share it out. We invite you to do the same. Share the link. Share it out. Let your friends know. DGMT is about to come on live in about 40-something seconds, 30-something seconds. I don't know, soon. But keep it locked to Glory 93.9 FM. So glad to be in your company. This is Delton. Keep it locked. Let's play it again. I like that song. We can play it again. If it's nice, you do it twice. If it's sweet, you got to repeat.
1, 2, 3. Woo! Come on. Yeah. We gon' do it like this. Ride with me. Yeah. Ride with me. I'm feeling good today. I'm good today. So turn it up and let the music play. Sun's out, not a single rain cloud in the sky. And Mrs. Green got a smile on her face. Okay, check. I'm feeling blessed. I got some bills, but got no stress. I ain't gon' stress. The cards was dealt, he holds the debt. Knowing that, tell me why I'm gon' fret. Switch it up.
All right, time up. I think time's up. Welcome, everybody. Glory 93.9 FM. To those on Facebook and those on YouTube, you can now see us. Well, not us, but one of us, both of us, two of us.
Hello.
Two of us are now on the live.
I can't hear anything in these headphones, but
You
hey,
cannot.
I can't.
All right,
There we go. Big hello there in Glory Land. How is everybody doing?
Oh man, it's been a while, guys.
I don't even know how to do this anymore.
It's been such a long time.
I genuinely
shouldn't have left you.
without it. So step two. That's definitely the kind of thing I would do. That was a very me digression.
Find the song right there. To those on Facebook, welcome everybody. Hope you all are doing good. Those on YouTube joining us virtually. Those on TuneIn Radio, welcome wherever you're listening to from all over the world. Go ahead and type to us. Say good morning. Say good afternoon. Why? Because it's morning somewhere in the world. So say good morning to us.
Oh no, we've not had to say that in a while.
Yeah,
Delton.
no, it's been a while. No, but we know this right here is extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, very much extended.
This was an emergency show, as we can see from the title. We was in Fair for Our Lives, so
we were summoned.
We were in
Listen
Fair for Our Lives, and so we
had no choice.
We had to move things around.
We had to make it happen.
And like, you know what? It has to happen today because
if not,
we're
gonna get cancelled.
We were in Fair for Our Lives. So welcome everybody. Come on in the room. We are live now on Glory 93.9 FM as well as Facebook and YouTube and TuneIn Radio for those that don't have the ability to keep us going in the car. You can listen to us on TuneIn Radio. Dana Knowles is here all the way from Canada. All the way from Canada.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
With Canada.
When you started, I was like, Canada.
Canada. Good to see you, Dana.
He's from kind of where?
Hi.
Bye.
As Miss Marisha go off to save the world, as she normally does. She just stepped into the office real quick. She's out to save the world and save the youth's life of the bombers.
Is she saving the youth's lives?
I don't know. They look so. That dress look like she.
Yeah, she dresses like she's going for personal enjoyment. She should.
All right, so welcome everybody. Excuse the chewing.
I ain't even sorry.
Because Vera was about to pass out. She's about to pass out apparently. And she didn't get some sustenance. In the words of what people.
I was on my last legs.
She did some sustenance.
The legs that were last, that was me.
Now, this little situation that we have here going on with the sustenance, if you see the show end abruptly, this is like a belly breakdown waiting to happen. We have popcorn. We have digestive cookies.
If
we
you
have coffee.
If you see the show end abruptly.
If the show does happen to quickly end.
Disclaimer of the year.
You just know what happened. Cut it to our stomachs, not our hearts.
Thank you very much, Tanisha. Tanisha said, Vera, the slick back. The slick back is slick.
Oh, look, what's this here? Oh, God has blessings in store for us now. I didn't even. Oh! The Lord has
finally. The Lord has done it, though.
The Lord has done it.
Tell us where you get that from. Did you do that on purpose?
Actually, I had this from, you know where this comes from? This comes from all the way from Walmart in Miami. This is from Walmart.
I've heard people say bad things about Walmart, but today Walmart, I bless you.
All
I
the way
speak
from
blessings
Walmart
on you.
in Miami, Florida.
Listen to me, guys. I can't
supposed to be.
I can't tell. Listen, while we get it together and we wait for you guys to share it, and get these numbers where they need to be. Comments in, tell us good morning, so we know who's in the room. We can shout you out. Let me just put things into perspective. When was our last show?
It was November to remember, guys. That's what it was.
Literally, we have a what's it called? A doctor's note for every single singer.
Yeah, no.
Every show we missed.
It was laughing up.
1 week we had an event at church.
It started off with ministers with being ministerial duties.
Yeah, we had ministerial duties. The next week and the following, Delton decided he was going off on vacation.
I went to get these cookies.
Delton just literally
I went away to get cookies.
Disappeared on a gallivantation, left me behind.
The Lord is kind. Because it could have gone another way.
But we're glad the man of God and his wife, not his family, because the children got left behind him, man. We're able to vacate. And then last week, Delton was being daddy.
It wasn't even last week.
No, it was last week.
No,
it was 1 week was retreat. Then it was 2
weeks
you were on vacation, and then last week was
I thought it was 5. Huh. Okay, all right,
it was about to be 5. Come on,
yeah, it was about to be 5.
We pressed.
It definitely could have gone another way.
Fear from as we said, fear for
yeah.
And
so
then last week Delton had daddy duties. Today there were funerals.
Baseball. I had to go to funeral, and
there were funerals. There were children's practices.
I took the coat stuff off. So you can't see it. Yeah, so we had a lot of stuff going on this morning. As we are in Christmas season, which means Vera is in full effect, which means she's there with the baby children to inquire.
Here I'm going to work.
To inquire rehearsals and getting them together for Christmas, and then from there she's going to.
And I'm not gonna lie, this is a new generation for my children's choir.
Oh yeah, because the older ones they too old now.
They're too old. Oh, you know, we've had some graduations, we've had some movement, some shifting, some new voices being added, and this is a new adventure.
New dispensation.
There's new dispensation. I'm dealing with new talent. Let's just put it like that.
How's attitude?
Attitude.
Attitude, talent. There's talent. There's
A
attitude.
little bit of attitude. Talent. Just not like what I'm used to. And so
Gotta adjust.
the anchors that usually keep the soul, they ain't there no more. So right now we just the ship is being tossed to and fro on choppy seas, but we trust in God. We believe in God.
So yes, y'all keep Minister V in prayer. And then of course for me, myself, and I, around this time now is when baseball season kicks off.
Don't understand why it's December.
Yeah, so they had a tournament last week. Shout outs to my son teams that won. Shout out to Jazz Chisholm White that won the under.
I don't know why I did that.
I don't know what that is. They won the T-ball champions. Under much scrutiny, by the way.
Yeah, but
it came with drama. It came with drama. It came with a whole letter. There was protests, all because of my son. I was like, ooh.
Tell them why you didn't tell me this.
Oh no, it was drama. That's why I tell you, I sent a video. I sent a video. Oh, there was a lot going on when I said
what's happening? I feel like we should start the show and then
you start there.
Yes, let's start
all right.
the show.
So we can start the show first. I didn't know how the things work no more. All right, let's figure out the situation.
This is really cold.
It's cold. It's never get cold. Anyway, so let's start. Let's get started. Only way we know how.
Not like that. That's not how we start the show. I don't even know what's going on in here.
We've got that. Good morning to you, brothers Delton and V.
Share it,
Vera
share it.
Are the faces you see. Impactful, insightful, delightful by far.
Yeah.
Delton's signature laugh and Vera's kiki ha ha.
Good morning.
Sip that tea.
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 We start off with the popular and shift the topic to the strange. You better come in fast cause the topic's gonna strain. Faithful are the follows that sip it on the tea, from wars to memes to governmental policy.
Good morning.
Sip that tea.
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 In pops past the D when they're closing on the final fact. And in my Vera, what's my show just got hijacked. Understand your popularity. Even prophets and bishops got to have that morning
Good
tea.
morning. Sip that tea. Good morning. Sip that tea. Good morning. Sip that tea. Good morning. Sip that tea.
Thank you so much, student audience.
And the church say yeah. Ba-ba-ba.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I beat the table so bad my camera slipped. Yeah.
Yeah, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
All right.
Thank you, Lord. I mean, while we're here giving him glory, let's give it to him.
If we can do it, then might as well thank
Go
him.
give it to him. Let's give it to him.
For those who
Okay.
first time joining the show, like, what is happening?
What's going on?
We're having a good time, guys.
We're having a good
And
time.
we invite you to
for
join
those
us.
of you that are new to DGMT, for whatever reason, you have not stopped this way
Where have you
before
been?
on a Saturday morning / afternoon / going into the evening. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to this show. This is a show where we get together and we just talk foolishness. We talk about things. We talk about what's going on in the news, what's going on in the world, what's going on in our lives, what's going on with you guys, what's going on in the Bahamas.
Definitely.
What's going on in the Church of God? We really just talk things. We don't claim to be specialists. We don't claim to have all the answers.
Definitely.
We don't claim to be theologians.
We are theologians.
We are just children of God, born in the apparently we're millennials. And we just talk about things from our perspective. And we welcome you to join us and talk about things from yours. That's all.
On another show this week on Glory, I'm not gonna call her name, but it was Joy Day. Wow. She was like, she pulled up one of the discussions. She's talking about the 5 love languages, and she was like, "This book was written a long time ago in 1992." It's like, hey, I was around in 1992. Just
The
like
Love Languages book was written in 1992.
1992, yeah.
I thought it was written later than
Yeah,
that.
she's like a long time ago.
Oh no, she didn't need to
like-
do all of that. But Joy Day can't be much younger than you and
She
I.
celebrated her birthday yesterday. Speaking of Joy Days, we get the birthday.
Yes, indeed.
I want to take a guess. I think she may be. I put it out there.
Don't do it.
But I don't think she's set with us.
You know, in set with us could mean different things now.
Yeah, like
When you say in set, for me, in set is when I was in high school, were you in high school? So you in set with me till I get to grade 12, and you was still in grade 6. Then me and you are not in set.
Okay, so that she's probably right on the edge of being in set.
So I would say 5 below and 5 above.
What year you graduated? 2000.
2008. Nope. 2006.
I would say 8.
No, but then we graduate at 16. We leave high school at 16.
Yeah, me too.
No, you always leave at 18.
I never took that.
Yeah, but that's not normal, though. So I graduated in 2006.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Y'all in it.
Yeah, no, we don't. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable.
So
Delton, these views are still too low.
People ain't used.
Share it. They ain't used. And I tell Delton yesterday we need to advertise, but Delton ain't really been on my run in recent times, and
It's been.
we have some domestic issues we need to iron out. But I've decided to let the Lord have His way.
I've decided.
Many rivers to cross. I've just decided I ain't crossing this one.
So hey to everybody that's joining, y'all share it.
Good
Dana
afternoon.
posted pictures just now of a look outside of his house. Like this right here.
The snow, right?
This is
You
wild.
sharing your screen?
No, actually, this is. I don't know people know where engaged this in the house.
I mean, he posted it on Facebook
That is true.
on the internet.
That's great. But anyway, so let's get to our news and reviews. Church announcements, all that
Church
stuff.
announcements. First,
that
we have
we've
the
missed,
church announcements.
So church announcements. Birthday greetings goes out to all who celebrate in the month of November.
Oh my
Listen,
goodness.
we didn't catch those at all.
The whole of the month of November.
We didn't catch any of November.
No. Because that is 4, unless November had 5 Saturdays.
Princess.
But then that could have been an October show because her birthday was on the weekend of that Saturday. See what I'm saying?
That's true. Okay. So happy birthday goes out to all
To
those celebrated
everybody who celebrated in November.
in November. All the
I like to call
anniversaries.
people in November the pre-show. People celebrate in
The opening
November.
act?
The opening act, the pre-show. Not quite the headliners, but we're still really glad to be able to see you because
My son turned 4 in November.
David is only 4 and not 49. Because I saw a picture of David today wearing suspenders, a bow tie, dress pants, shiny shoes, and his hands were in his pocket.
Automatically.
You couldn't tell me that boy doesn't have grandchildren.
And you could have smelled him from the next room.
Come on!
Because he had that cologne on lock.
You let him wear cologne?
First of all, if you don't let him, it's a problem. if he doesn't wear cologne, it's a problem.
Oh, I love that for the Tunkin.
And only because
you know what? You can't call David
only because he didn't get his shades.
Right.
He didn't get his shades in time. He didn't put his shades on before the picture.
Because he would have put his shades on.
Well, he got shades, but he doesn't get his shades in time. But his shades I'm sure his shades are on right now.
I need a picture. I need a
I'm
full
pretty
outfit.
sure the shades are on as we speak. But birthday greetings goes out to all those in November, and now to those celebrating in this final month of the year.
One thing about y'all are patient. We are the kind of people
We miss all the penultimates.
we can celebrate with you. We can just watch while you celebrate.
Yeah.
Our time is coming.
So
Our time of breakthrough is on the way. And here it is, guys. Here it is. So to all the Decemberites near and far, I automatically love you a little more than everybody else.
I know
it just comes
we
with
would
the
be
territory.
remiss if we don't call out one of our very own DGMTers. That is one of Miss Mary Lightborn Walker,
who celebrated yesterday, and
turned
she's
a big 6'5".
milestone age 6'5".
6'5".
Looking like a 5'6".
Looking like a 5'6".
6'5", looking like a 5'6". So birthday shout outs to Miss Mary. We also have a couple other DGMTers who celebrated their birthday in the last few days. One, Samantha Mondestin, celebrated yesterday alongside Miss Mary. We also had Sydney Curtis, a DGMTer, who celebrated on Thursday, the 5th of December. One Gotti baby boy, D'Angelo Roberts Jr., also celebrated his birthday yesterday and turned a whole 5 years old. 5
Even though I'm
years
pretty say 4.
old.
Even though I'm pretty say 4.
No, because
we get it together. Next tomorrow, we're
gonna update our selfies tomorrow. So he turned 5. And so to all those who celebrated in these first few days of December, big shout outs to you.
Yeah,
Hope you've enjoyed the celebrations and will continue to celebrate all month long. All month. All month.
Yeah, they go through the list. We have some coming up this week, so we get them on next week. And I see here any DGMTs I can see celebrating. Yeah, so we can get to those on next week. But if you are celebrating this week or celebrated last week, happy birthday to you. Happy belated birthday. To all those married couples who celebrate their anniversary.
Nigel Lewis celebrated his birthday on the 5th as well.
On the 5th?
On the 5th.
Happy belated birthday to you, sir. And to everyone else celebrating birthday anniversary. Happy birthday.
All. A dear friend of mine and an occasional DGMT, one Crystal Thompson celebrates her birthday tomorrow on the 8th of December. So we big
Crystal.
birthday shout outs.
Do you have a bashment? Big bashment tonight?
Of course.
Tonight or tomorrow?
Tomorrow. There will be bashments. That's why I said I'm not going to be present for family.
Oh boy.
Because I got to bash. Man.
Out in the West?
Out in the West.
Out in the West. Oh boy.
Anybody want to give me a ride?
Oh, no,
that's
man.
one thing.
We're not invited to the bash.
That's why you're dropping me off.
Oh, that's why we can't go that way. We got to be wasting the gas to drop you off and not get to play the food.
Oh. I mean, I can bring you a little something.
I got to play the food.
We could have organized something. So to all celebrating, big birthday greetings to you. This is really just the countdown to the 28th of December. Some people are anticipating the 25th.
Don't worry about Jesus yet.
We
skip back Jesus.
It's Jesus' birthday is really back in like April or something.
They say March.
Based on my research. April, March-ish time.
Yeah, you're March 20th.
Yeah.
I think some saying it's around March 20th.
Yeah. But any excuse to celebrate Jesus is a good excuse.
So people on live, Terrell is here. Terrell says, hey, peoples.
Howdy, Terrell.
Jody
Funnily enough, Terrell, I had a conversation about you with a colleague of mine because we were talking about, and it will be mentioned in the news reviews, but the events of the week and the pictures that have come out of them. And I was saying how a friend of mine is always positioned aptly, always perfectly positioned to take some of the most iconic pictures.
One of the best.
And when I said that, my colleague said to me, do you mean Terrell Clinton? I was like, yeah. She was like, because his name is on all the good pics. So Terrell, you're that guy.
No, he's that guy.
You are
when
that guy.
When it comes to editorial,
so shout outs to you.
You know how good he is now back. Well, I think my first impression to Terrell, I think, was the AID file. I think that's how far back it goes. Is it the AID or even before that? That's like years and years ago. My first like encounter. That's like, oh, this guy know how to take a story.
You know how to take a
this guy.
That's a gift.
This guy know how to take a story. I mean, Jesus, this I feel it.
And I'm not gonna lie, in the madness of the last few weeks, as much as the police force has been on display, the commissioner's been on display, the prime minister, so has like journalism, the media, news outlets. Like they have been. I feel like maybe the more intellectual eye has also been scrutinizing how this stuff has been reported. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I see the story, I absorb the story, but I'm also looking at how the story has been told.
How y'all portraying this? Let's see how y'all
Terrell, in the midst of a lot of confusion, you are somebody who does your job well. So shout outs to you. Was I being shady and firing a shot at others? Absolutely. Without question. Yeah, good job, Terrell. So good afternoon to all of you here gathered. We know that Sin Smith is also on the live, and her husband was celebrated, recognized by the police force for his years of service. So shout outs to Law Smith and the whole entire Smith clan. Law Smith. There was a moment where my dear Sin was worried that based on the events of the week, that event would be cancelled or postponed. But
there was no way that could be postponed.
We got a reason.
Oh no, we got to celebrate the police now. Because y'all ain't coming for them all the way around.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Anyway, speaking of that,
news and reviews. Are we already jumping into that? Because I told Delton, once we go news and reviews, that's the end of the show. Nothing else is happening. So we've been gone for a month, or slightly over a month.
Yo, let's raise
and honestly raised hell in our absence. So for those of you that are new to DGMT, here for the first time, listening for the first time, this is the part of the show where after we have celebrated with those who celebrate, we talk about just what's been going on. We just do a quick recap and overview. Yeah. But what you will find is that sometimes the recap and the overview turns into the central conversation. And it's likely that will be the case today.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that has been the stories. The
stories. Should we work backwards or should we work from the back forwards?
I think you have to go back. You have to go back to figure out like what was the reason for the mace being thrown. So you have to go back.
Okay.
You have to go back.
What was the reason for the mace being flung
on the window? All right, so we left y'all in good peace, good standards.
All was well.
All was well. We were doing good. The Prime Minister was on country. There was no complaints like that. Of course, I think at that time the highlight was all of us were poor and cannot afford to live in the Bahamas. I think that was the highlight.
So you're talking about the cost of living.
The highlight was he needed $120,000 for a family of 4.
Absolutely.
And I realized I was living far from that. And so that's where we left off. It was like, okay, all right. So we all
need to get rich.
Yeah, we all need to get
trying.
rich.
That's basically.
That's where we left off. Then we had a ministers' conference, so we missed one show. I went on vacation. When I went on vacation, that was it from there.
That's because you left the country.
That's what it is. It's me, and I'm going to blame Pastor Nelson. Me and him, we left as well. So I'm going to put some blame on him as well. The man of God weren't watching the city. The man of God weren't watching the city. They were out having gallivanting. But first, it started with the horrific news of the 12-year-old Adrielle. That was later found that she was murdered, sexually assaulted. Started there, so the outcry came from there. Even in that story, there were so many other stories that was coming out from there, because then the mother became a story. People around the mother became a story, and all kind of other things became the story, other than the story, and that was a whole other thing.
So just talk me through how we're dealing with this. Are we just summarizing, or are we chiming in?
If you want to chime in, you can chime in. The chime is always there to come in.
I feel like because of the age of that story, it's better to just give an overview of the events rather than chime in.
Since
but
then,
I think what you said is key. Everything other than the story became the story.
Everything else became story.
The public became too invested in placing blame than figuring out where's the person who did this heinous crime, right? So we definitely, I think we got momentarily distracted.
Yeah, so everything else started becoming a story. There was outcry. There was cry-outs. People were up in arms. Pastors were making noise.
Cry-outs, upticks.
Downtrends. It was a lot. A lot was happening.
It was a lot.
People were definitely up in arms.
There was like a small protest of the people. Vamonos. No, what's their name?
Vamonos.
What they called?
Foam?
Yes.
Foam.
Why they call them Vamonos?
I don't know. I don't know which way he's going.
I saw an A and M and an O in my head, and I thought
he might be Vamonos.
Vamonos.
He gave Spanish.
So foam, there was a bit of a
cry for laws to change. Especially gender. I saw gender-based violence pop on that. Child abuse popped on that as well. That and it's sad, but in most cases, those things usually last for a hot minute. Not a hot minute, really a legit minute. That happened maybe about a week, but in that same time, they got more devastating, horrible news about a 72-year-old. I think it was 72 or 71. I'm not sure, somewhere in that range, that she was also murdered and raped as well. That person was caught in act. And
so I don't know how it's physically possible, but I completely missed that story. Like I know about it. I heard about it because people kept talking after the fact. There was like a piling together of Adrielle and Venetia, but I never, when that story came out, I never saw that. I only heard about it after the fact, but I think it's because after Adrielle, I just turned off.
That story found me on the Lido deck.
I can't do. Wow.
I think that's what that story found me.
I'm not laughing at the story. I'm laughing at the fact that Delton wants to make sure we know his location at the time.
And so that one came out, and there was
the person was caught in the act.
Yeah, I think the person was caught in the act. He was, I think, severely beaten. I think stabbed a few times. I don't know what.
By who?
A person who caught. Like person, like the neighbors or someone heard the noise, something like that. So that person was caught in the act, according to the story. And even in Adrielle's case, police did believe that they had a suspect in custody, but according to as of a few days ago, SRC said they're not able to just agree or disagree whether they have a suspect in custody because of confidentiality reasons, and so that actually started a whole other thing with the police, because then people don't trust the police because they said they had somebody in custody, but they can't give the name because of the mental state, and so that was the whole thing where the public started to not trust the police. It was like, we ain't like what y'all saying.
Now, mind you say the public started to not trust the police.
Okay, they started to outcry.
They found something to pin their existing mistrust on for the moment.
Because we don't trust the police. You say you find somebody, we don't believe him.
Yeah.
So that became a whole thing. We went through that. The police, we don't trust the police. On Glory 93.9 FM, there's a show like in the middle of that called Barbershop Talk where they were saying, you can't do that. You all have to trust the police. The police are our friends.
I commented a lot on that show.
And the police, you cannot just lump on.
Police are friends, not food.
Hi, Bruce.
Hi, Bruce.
So that was going on. That show was happening. I mean, and they were definitely saying that one person, Tito Bethel, we call his name, he was saying the police, they don't do a good job. He was saying that they use the force, what's the word? When you say you did it. Confessions. That they would beat confessions out of persons, and he was just talking bad with the police, and they were defending the police. And less than an hour, we got reports.
1 hour later.
1 hour later, while we were still in the car leaving for Barbershop Talk, the report came out that New York City got some issues with some Bahamian police,
now that's
defense force, politicians, and that's when.
What you say? When the defecation hit the
oscillation. That's when the defecation hit the oscillation. That right there.
That live will forever be hilarious to me.
That was when all hell broke loose. And so if you're listening from somewhere outside the world, this has been happening in the country now for the past 3 to 4 weeks. Since then, the commissioner of police came on, gave a report, gave a.
You know,
I would say poorly edited, poorly delivered kind of thing.
We're just narrating.
Yeah, poorly. It wasn't well done.
No, you're not giving your opinion, Delton. Just tell the
when
story.
I say well done, I mean well done in terms of the editing.
Okay.
Okay, I can't move it. Sorry, that's me.
Yeah.
So. Said that they're going to do investigations. Prime Minister came out and said that hair's going to roll. Actually, I think the words he used exactly was he's going to shake the tree. His words were he's going to shake the tree. The tree was going to be shaken. And the commissioner came on. He gave his report. He decided to call some names of person he's going to talk to because we're going to get to the bottom of this. And we're going to beat the corruption. And the country started to cry. So that's some sections of the country started to cry out. They want to fire. Well, first of all, Brave got to go. First on the list, Brave got to go. After Brave got to go, it was Wayne Monroe got to go. And then after Wayne Monroe, it was Clayton Fernandez got to go. Who else got to go? I think at some point, no, they were also calling for Chester Cooper. Chester Cooper, he got to go. So there was like 4 people right off the bat had to go.
This is before the commissioner's thing.
Yeah.
This was before his address, because his address was really to address that. Because once they started, Wayne say, y'all can't tell me to go. The only person who can tell me to go is the Prime Minister.
It's the Prime Minister.
So the Prime Minister doesn't tell me to go.
I
ain't going nowhere.
Dun, 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 dun.
I ain't going nowhere.
What we get?
We can't be.
Why?
Because we bad.
Because we are bad boys for life. And so the cry was the people got to go.
They gotta go.
Right after that report came out, there was a House of Assembly sitting, and the Prime Minister, that's when he made a statement that he's going to shake the tree. And at that actual sitting, the leader of the opposition tried to make a little comment, and he was like, apparently he didn't submit his request in time to the Speaker of the House.
Right.
So she was like, it came in at about 9:05. This is me just trying to remember the story as it goes on. But 9:05, she's like, that was too late. Needed 24 hours. It became a little kerfuffle, not too much, and then go a little back and forth, and then so that sort of died down. Next sitting of the House is when, before that, that's when then Clayton Fernandez, that Prime Minister said that he accepted his resignation.
That's the next sitting.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the next sitting.
Right.
Yeah, the beginning of that sitting of the House.
However, that sitting was, what's it called? Surrounded by protests in the street.
The FNM,
there was a
Free National
coffin.
Movement, as well as some other, because they said it wasn't just, the FNM said it wasn't just FNMs. It was Bahamians at large who were just tired. They were tired with the situation. So they had Bahamians and FNM supporters out there. There was a coffin. There were placards. They were rallying. They were sallying. It was
what were they rallying and sallying about specifically? Understand Bahamians are tired.
Brave gotta go.
On the premise that
democracy is dead.
Because he wasn't permitted to speak in the previous sitting? Is that
No. That wasn't really the
because I'm trying to understand, and yet still I am trying to understand what the basis or what the key argument for the rally was.
For those who are listening
Democracy is
online,
dead because
y'all can chime in too. Feel free to chime in.
We just summarize it, and if we miss out any key facts or details,
someone tell me we missed some things.
Jump on. Because Delta's doing an excellent job of giving us the top and the tail.
Top of the tail.
I'm only asking stories for my personal clarification.
I'm trying to get top and tail.
What was the main argument? This idea of democracy is dead. It's based on what was the trigger for this?
So I think the idea at this time was there has to be a firing. Like the main thing is corruption is at its highest, and we ain't doing nothing about it.
Yeah, okay.
We coming against this government because the government ain't doing nothing, but they're about to corrupt criminals. And that part I'm still uncertain about because what I'm hearing is that this initial investigation started in 2019. So I had to be a bit confused because like in 2019, PLP wasn't in power.
Also in addition as well.
But I'm saying anyway.
Also in addition as well. Democracy is dead. Where? I heard that, but I'm still not sure why.
Where dead? I'm not quite sure.
Why is it dead?
I know where it died. And whoever's in the coffin didn't tell us. So someone's in the coffin. I guess it was democracy.
Oh, because democracy was in the coffin.
I guess democracy in the
you
coffin.
You lie. Delton, the symbolism.
Democracy didn't
I missed it. Democracy, I missed it.
And democracy didn't have a chance to give any last statements, any last words.
Because democracy didn't realize he was kicking up such a fuss.
So democracy was dead. So they had the contingent in the front. Some said thousands. Pictures says
dozens.
A few. But they said it was thousands of Bahamians that were out there. And then that then went to the sitting of the House. And they just walked over because Honorable Michael Pintard gave a statement to the media in front of the demonstration, in front of the angry mob. And then he walked to the House Assembly. And then the Prime Minister came up and gave that address that Clayton Fernandez had tendered his resignation, and that there is a new name that they have for Commissioner of Police, and he will submit that name over to the leader of the opposition because by Constitution he has to give it to him for consultation. And he gave him that name. And they were supposed to meet after the sitting. And they would meet after the sitting to discuss and make sure, we all is right. After the Prime Minister made a statement, he turned it back over. The floor was went back over to the House to the Speaker. Speaker then gave leeway for statements from other ministers, which is normally the procedure of the House. Cabinet ministers speak first, then other people. Just for more clarity on this whole thing that happened. What happens is ministers give statements, cabinet ministers, then other people. So the floor was then turned over to the member for Freetown, which is Wayne Monroe. So Wayne Monroe started to speak. The leader of opposition, Eastern opposition. And he was like, I want to talk. And the speaker was like, hey, calm it down. He followed procedure. He wasn't at that. Now, during the Prime Minister's speech, Adrian White, the member of Parliament for Freetown, he got up and made his way towards the window. I don't know if everybody saw this. He got up.
The one that was injured?
Who's injured?
No, the one who got a concussion.
No. That's the deputy speaker. That's Petty. The concussion. Adrian White.
Just give us the.
Adrian White was the member of Parliament for Freetown. He was Freetown. That's what I like for St. Anne's. Adrian White is the MP for St. Anne's.
He's an FNM MP.
He's the FNM MP, the Conky Joe MP. That was the one that was he got done. He got done the worst. And the pictures of him, that's what was holding the flag. Him. While the Prime Minister was speaking, he made his way over to the window, and there was a big pause. And it's like, what's happening over here? Because he went to the window first. I believe he went to the window, opened it just to make sure.
Had to be.
So he went over to the window, like he's looking out the window, opened it. All right, okay. Well, we see what you're doing here. So while Wayne Monroe was speaking and after Michael Pintard got up, that's when the back and forth happened between Michael Pintard and the Speaker. And the Speaker was saying, I will address you after ministers have spoken. And Pintard was like, just let me know if we can talk or not. And she was like, I will address you afterwards. Now, at this time, other members started to shout in the background from the FNM. And in a quick movement, a quick step,
as quick as he could go,
the member of St. Barnabas, honorable member of St. Barnabas, shouted out Cartwright, made his way toward the Speaker, grabbed the mace off the top of the table, knocked over a cup of water. We'll get that later. Took the mace, ran to the window, quick jog to the window, opened the window, and threw the mace out the window. After he threw the mace out the window, police came in.
The bishop walked in the door, had mace out the window, and decided, I don't want nothing to do with this. Come back in 20 minutes. Come back in 20 minutes. Come back in 20 minutes.
I threw the mace out the window. The speaker replied, "Get him!"
My brain is doing my brain is in overtime right now. I don't even know what to react to.
"Get him!" The police sergeant rushed in. They grabbed Shannon Dawn Cartwright, and she said to remove him from this honorable house. House went on break for 15 minutes. She said the house would recess for 15 minutes. Let's get our act together. She asked the sergeant to return the mace back to the speaker position. And then the police just apparently drug all the FNMs out of the house because they refused to go. It was like
they refused to go for the recess.
No, we won't go. And that's where you get the pictures from Terrell Clinton and others of these ministers. Kwesi Thompson from Grand Bahama refused to put foot on the ground, so they literally lift him out. Adrian White, all his belly was exposed. He was being roughed, manhandled. I was quite sure what was happening with Adrian Gibson because it looked like he was trying to walk, but he was not trying to walk. I was quite sure. Like he was walking, but not really walking. It was a lot
definitely
happening.
Giving when you're trying to get a child to come.
Yeah. And they're like, you know what?
Okay.
And so he went there. For those of person like me who's watching, I think there's the news station of Jose Etienne, a good friend of mine, watching him on Eyewitness News. He was up and down. He's running up and down. I teased him throughout the whole thing. I was like, "Guy, you working for your money today?" He was running up and down. He was running up and down behind people.
Oh, goodness.
At one point, he's like, "The police they are bruising, and the reporters are being bruised and battered." It's like, "Sir, we can see what happened. You're not being bruised and battered. Stop that." He was like, "We're being bruised and battered." And so it led to the whole thing. And that's really
where we are today.
Where we are right now. Actually, I lied. Because during this time, there was the meeting that still happened between the leader of opposition and the prime minister. That did happen in terms of him presenting the name for the commissioner of police. At that time, the news already made the rounds. It was leaked of who the new commissioner of police would be, the lady from Freeport, that she was already being flown down. They had pictures of her walking through the airport. They had pictures of her walking into the prime minister's office with Commissioner Clayton Fernanda. So there's already news out there. And that led to another little back and forth too with Michael Pintard as well, where he was like, the prime minister told us that he would take our thoughts into consideration because we said we needed more time, but he already made the announcement by the time. Showed another level we can't trust them. Once again, Brave got to go. So he's back there again. And so now this is where we are now on this Saturday. Mace is being thrown out the window. And
now, from the perspective of a teacher who had students who did not know what that event represented, or did not know the significance of it. No, I don't lie at all. I was appalled, to tell you. I appreciate that there may be non-Bahamian viewers who need some clarity on the history of the mace or the symbolism of the mace. I'm not going to give it because I'm not the right one for the job, but I feel like, Delton, you should. And then I'm going to see if what I told my kids is correct. Probably should have checked it before I said it, but I felt like I knew what I was talking about.
I'm not the best person. I'm gonna give you what I've gathered over the years of hearing the story. Now, when that happened,
did you not get taught this in school though?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Because a lady came on, she's like, "Our children are not being taught their history. They don't teach their history." I'm like,
"No, I'm pretty sure
all they teach these children is history in school." Now, do the kids remember it? Do they understand the significance of it? Yeah, but I don't. I disagreed wholeheartedly, and I don't necessarily have a lot of experience with children,
I commented,
these kids know.
When I commented and I gave the props to Terrell, I said that in the next book, The Making of the Bahamas, Volume 3, Volume 10, his pictures and Jose should be his pictures should be inside the book. I'm pretty sure the story is Making in the Bahamas, and we had to do Making in the Bahamas in primary school. I've been out of primary school almost 30 years. I don't remember the story.
It's not almost 30 years, yeah. Almost 30 years. I was trying to help, but I'm not making it.
Yeah, that's why I stopped. I was like, because I want this. So, the details are a bit foggy. But at this time, This is when the Bahamas was still under British rule. And we were trying to make our way forward. We were getting closer and closer to becoming an independent nation. And during this time, there was a seating of the House Assembly where they said that the power was going to be returned to the people. And that was when to Lyndon Pinlin, Milo Butler, I can't remember there's a name that they call as well. But I know when Lyndon Pinlin grabbed the mace, threw it out the window. That represented the power returning back to the people. And then there was the hourglass. Can't remember exactly what that represented, but I think Milo Butler threw it out the window as well.
Dash way.
So these things were
Dash way.
dashed out the window. I don't remember exactly all the terms. If I say I'm probably not the best person either. Probably someone who was like.
So what I gathered from like interviews and just being around over the years is the mace is the representation of democracy in that the voice of the people is in the room, that the MPs in the room have been democratically voted by the constituents to represent them. And so the act of throwing the mace out of the window is the act of declaring that democracy is not following due process because the representatives of the people are not being allowed to represent the people. Right? And so hence
and keep in mind, when this happened in 1967, I believe it was, when the mace was thrown out the window, there was a crowd of people on the outside. And so the crowd of people
caught the
mace, which was so symbolic. Because the mace is now in the hands of the people.
Wow.
When this happened last week, the mace...
So Miss Mary has come to clarify that the mace is a symbol of authority in Parliament that represents the Speaker's authority and the authority of the House. And so throwing out of the window... In that instance, as you said, is that the people now have the authority, the people now have the power. So what did throwing the mace out of the window represent this go round?
I don't know, because
that's why I'm assuming it's a symbol of democracy, because the argument is that democracy is dead. So I'm taking the symbol of democracy and dashing it out the window.
To nobody.
Because if you throw the symbol of authority out the window, that means no one has it. It's floating around. And as spiritual creatures, we cannot allow such symbolism to go unaddressed. We cannot. So Miss Mary says, without the mace, the House cannot pass laws. So in this instance of throwing the mace out the window, I guess it's to stop the process of laws being unfairly passed. But were laws in the process of being passed in that moment?
There was a statement being, I don't know if it's unfairly, there's a statement that was being made by Wayne Manor. I think he was trying to present table a bill, or table some kind of change to the law, something that was supposed to happen, that never took place. Which is something unfairly, I don't know exactly what it was, because we never got right now. So this instance, the mace didn't really go to the people. It sort of just fell on a little platform outside for Junkanoo.
And then they interviewed the man whose job it is to inspect if the mace has been damaged, because damage to the mace is an offense.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I saw the cap fell, and then also the cap fell off. And then they just put it back on.
Okay.
So the people didn't catch it.
Okay.
Just land on the floor.
I need to put this huge disclaimer out there.
Give you a disclaimer
before we start.
That you're not Bahamian?
Before we make our contributions. The first disclaimer is a personal one. I'm not Bahamian. And I don't necessarily speak from the perspective of someone who has a massive, repertoire of knowledge for Bahamian history. So there are a lot of maybe nuances about this interaction and about the state of politics and government that I don't necessarily understand. Any comment I make is purely from the layman's observation. I don't want to say the average Joe. I'm less than the average Joe. I'm putting that out there. Secondly, in addition also, the views and thoughts expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the management, the staff, the sponsors of Glory 93.9. That's an important disclaimer.
Scroll past the bottom.
Important disclaimer. I want to begin by saying, I'm still trying to figure out if that was a proportionate reaction to what was going on. And I'm really torn. I'm torn because I personally don't believe it was. I think if you compare the political climate of then and now, it doesn't feel like a proportional reaction. However, who's to say, that's the precedent of when the mace was thrown out. Do we need to let things get to that state? It won't ever get back there in terms of the level of racism and discrimination. But should we wait for things to get that bad before we do something of that nature? Is the precedent that it has to be at this level before the mace is thrown out the window? Or
why are we still throwing the mace out the window?
Should the opposition still be able to express their view of the state of democracy through this symbolic thing. I feel like it was very stupid. And I feel like what's the worst that can happen to me? You can put me in prison. I just feel like you're going down in the history books for the wrong reason.
First of all, I said, I told Julian, this will not make the history books. It will make history.
It will make history.
But it will not make the history books.
I feel like it has to, Delton.
Under what?
Under the fact that was such a momentous occasion the first time it happened. I feel like to replicate it, you're equating the current circumstances to that time. I feel like because of the symbolism of that event in Bahamian history, that non-Bahamians who come and live in this country know about the event, for you to decide this is the act I want to do to represent the state of the nation, you have to be saying it's as bad as it was then. I feel like that's what you're like. Once you guys, because you man sat down and planned that 100,000%. That was not an emotional response, and I feel like I don't know if that makes it worse or better. I don't know if the fact that you guys sat down in conferences like this is how we're going to fix things. I just feel like, so are you equating the state of the nation now to where it was in 1967?
Me?
I
was in the front there watching it happen live.
Because what is the consequence of the act now? Like what is going to come out of it?
So I'm trying to figure out if it was a jailable offense. I don't know if we got the damage to the Mason, so it's an offense where Shannon Conrad could be locked up. I don't think so.
And then he would be locked up for a great cause. I'm still trying to figure out what the cause is, you see? I think that's my challenge. I think my challenge is, what is the cause?
You grabbed it.
I don't want to be for or against. I just want to know what it is.
You threw it out. And then 15 minutes later, we're just back in the assembly.
No, but then the symbolism is there. There's the symbol. It's something.
It was no symbol because no people caught it. It just landed on the bleachers.
That means it's a different symbol now.
It just landed on the bleachers. Nobody caught it. Still just out there on the floor. And the police went outside, picked it up, brought it back inside. Like it didn't really go to the people. The people were on the next side of the bleachers.
Because also, I know some of the unrest was corruption has existed in the police force, defense force. Right. There's been corruption long. It's been around long. Everybody knows. And now we have a situation that we can rally around, or something that's come to light that has made the need to address corruption more pressing, right? And so everybody was mad because there was no immediate firings. Now, again, disclaimer, I am not politically inclined. I am not massively knowledgeable about this, but I kind of feel like I come from a country where if your department, something goes wrong, you resign automatically. Like it's not the Prime Minister must tell me,
ask my resignation.
I have to prove that it's just, it happened under your tenure.
That's usually
tenure. That
Westminster system.
That's a very, like for me, that's a reflex response.
Right.
Right. So I understood why people were crying for resignations but what I don't appreciate is that people crying for resignations feeling like that's the solution to the problem. Because are we angry because people did not resign, or are we angry because they're not doing anything? Because I promise you, somebody resigning is not them necessarily doing anything about the issue. It's a tokenistic response. It's the person saying, "Oh, I put my hands up. I'll take responsibility while the event." Because the truth is, Commissioner resigned first day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day. The issue of corruption and this particular case of drug trafficking, illegal, whatever in New York is still ongoing. So my thing is, everybody has a right to, call for resignations. I've seen it done before. I've seen it done. But are we under the impression that because if the commissioner got up the next day and resigned, we would all go to sleep happy? Because then if we would all go to sleep happy, then what is your real concern is not corruption. Your real concern is that it feels like they're taking responsibility. Let's be honest. Nothing's changing immediately. So I understood as well. On the other hand, the
call for people?
No, the Minister of National Security. What am I resigning for?
I say you understand the call for resignation. I never understood the call for people to resign.
I understand the call for resignation from my cultural perspective. In the sense that I understand it from the politics I've been exposed to all my life. It's just like a reflex response. I don't recall a politician who was only Boris Johnson. when he was holding parties during COVID.
He's like,
and everybody called for him to resign. Like he held on for the longest possible time.
Said, nope.
But from what I'm used to, you listen, you come into office yesterday and we find out that something gone down, some darkness gone down in that office. 2 days later, you're resigning. That's just how it goes. So I get that some people may have seen that and thought, why is there not a reflex resign? But at the same time, I understand what the people like, but this ain't, firstly, if I resign, what's that going to do for this particular case?
Not a Jesus thing.
Like, how is that going to help the situation? It's not going to bring us closer to a solution because we over here, apparently, hearing from New York, just when you hearing from New York, we don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. Everybody's trying to find out something. So my thing is, people are calling for resignation. But do you genuinely believe that's going to solve the problem or that's going to address the issue that is now even gone above and beyond?
So the New York court has this case going on. And like I said earlier, I'm not sure exactly the timeline that this investigation started. When they said, I think they say that they have a named political or government official, something like that. And we haven't seen any real facts of this case to know when this investigation started, under which administration, under which. And I think, like I want to say, and this could be just me pushing or stretching. I believe the commissioner was trying to tell y'all, this had nothing to do with me. When this came out, I was not the commissioner. When this whole investigation started, these drug dealers moving, I wasn't the commissioner. I didn't put these people in place. I didn't put the person who was in place at the airport. I didn't do these things. Because when he started saying, I can talk to Marvin Dames.
That was so low.
I could talk to the former commissioner. And he's not naming these names.
That's the point. I'm not going to lie. That's the point in the address where I started paying attention. I was like, nah, commissioner, nah.
Commissioner's like, I ain't going to tell y'all that it ain't going to do with me. However, there's some people we can talk to afterwards that probably y'all should be looking at in terms of this, what's happening now. I ain't saying it's me, guys. It could be me. It could not be me. However, I'm going to call a few names, so y'all take notes. I'm going to call Marvin Dames. I'm going to call the former Prime Minister. I'm going to call.
Yeah.
So y'all take these names, write these down.
I say all of this to say, because of the public unrest, and I feel like the leader of the opposition and his team, they rode the unrest. They rode the public outrage and the open wound that exists. Because the bottom line is, cries for resignation is because we need something, really, that's how I perceive it. We need something to hold on to. We want to feel like something's being done. We know this ain't it. But we want to feel like something's being done. We want to feel like someone's taking responsibility because the young girl is dead, the old lady's dead. You still haven't found the person. This person could potentially still be walking around in the street. People are unsettled. People are scared. People are worried. We are just channeling our worry and concern into whatever story is on the screen. But I feel like you are the sober politicians that represent the people. Yes, you want the people's voices to be heard, but at the same time, the people are emotional. The people are scared. The people are worried. You are the one that has sober mind. Represent the people in ways that are going to bring about solutions. Correct. I don't necessarily understand how democracy in the coffin, the mace out the window, being carried out and made a meme. Y'all know the Bahamas too well to know that y'all wasn't going to become the butt of every joke. Beyond whatever statement or protest you made, you are funny to us more than anything else. The vast majority of the public was vastly entertained and a kiki. And doesn't necessarily, I don't know how many people feel like, yep, now I feel like these MPs are getting something done as a result of the kerfuffle, of the ruckus. I don't know.
My thing also, although as much as I understand the idea of the House of Assembly, and that is where you go to represent the people, there's a statement that's being made that the speaker was not allowing the voice of the people to be heard in the House of Assembly, and it's like people want to hear what the opposition has to say. And this is a side point, like amidst a whole heap of other things. The average Bahamian does not watch the parliamentary channel, does not give they fly and flip about what happened in the House of Assembly. Your average Bahamian, unless actually like what happened last week took place, does not watch the parliamentary channel. they're not knowing what you're saying inside this unless it's something very, very, very.
But
very,
I mean, the process doesn't go on because people are engaging with it. The process goes on because of what it represents.
No, I think it's so. If you want us to hear you, like you want the people to hear your voice,
well, come where they're listening.
Let's go on Facebook Live. Don't throw the mess out the window. Because now we're still not gonna watch afterwards now. Because next week we're only watching to see if we can throw it again. No, okay, all right then. Let's turn it off. It's like anything happening today. No, okay.
Any rockets?
They're just talking. Okay, let's close this.
But then, and that's why I feel like it bothers me when I feel like the leaders of the nation are buying into the sensationalism, are feeding the sensationalism, are feeding the emotion, feeding the outrage. I feel like you should be more responsible than that. You should be trying to calm people and tell us, okay, we see this is what you're saying. We see this is how you feel. These are the steps that we're going to take to represent you. You've just fed the pandemonium. You fed the chaos. You fed the unrest that was already there in order to achieve what? In order to achieve what?
A few seconds of story. Of a news story.
So for me, and the fact that yet still the cause is not clear. What is the cause? What is the cause that it's being for? I still don't get it. Is the cause democracy? Is the cause power? Is the cause corruption? Is the cause representation? What is the cause that we're fighting?
What is the reason?
What is the reason?
Everybody still...
Are we fighting because eggs are too expensive? Why are we mad?
We definitely should be fighting that reason right there, because eggs are ridiculously expensive.
I know it was a random thing. So for me, I'm all for protest. Of course, everyone has their right to protest. And I get that the public's reaction to things is not always going to be level-headed and reasonable and cause for resignation. Yeah, okay, fine. But it's the same thing. And I think for me, it was like an echo of what happened with Adrielle. We want solutions. We don't just want tokens or things that we actually need to see that a murderer and a rapist has gone to jail and is not on our streets. That's what we need to see more than anything. So we could talk about the mummy, go in the comments and talk about the mummy, and talk about this service and this. I feel like, yes, let's iron out the holes, fill in the gaps that meant we got to this point. But primarily at this time, we need to find out who did it. Same way with corruption with the police. Find out where all of the ants, all of the infection, all of the poison is. Dig them. That's the first thing. We want to see that you're digging them out. And I think that's all the commissioner could have addressed.
Shake the tree.
That's the only thing. Shaking the tree is not enough. I need to see the worms falling out. So I think the commissioner's address didn't go down as well as it, because the only thing people wanted to hear was, we found X, we found Y, we found Z. They've been rooted out.
But we can't even find us because they didn't even give us the names. They didn't give us one name.
And that's, what do you mean?
The U.S. government, they didn't.
But then the first thing I saw had a list of 10 names.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of what we weeding out, a lot of these things we weeding out, we just getting, we just trying to find names. We just find this out. And
I also think
in the case of law, we can't just presume that someone is guilty.
But I feel like you can't presume someone is guilty. But once their name has been called into question on something of this nation, they can be suspended.
They can put on guard leave, as they go.
Yeah, put them on leave or suspension until investigations are done. I think that was the least that could have been done. That's the least that could have been and should have been done.
Would that have been enough to suffice? Probably not. But that's what it's.
I know you're going to make everyone happy, but I think it would have been a step.
I want to play this guy. But then I wanted to hear what the reason was given.
What is the reason? And again, I didn't watch every video on every news station, so maybe they did make the reason clear.
Let's make it hear exactly what's the reason.
People, this government and this speaker has been aiming to consistently quiet the Bahamian people through the voices of the leader of the opposition and this entire caucus. The mace is the symbol of the speaker's authority that's been given to her by the Bahamian people. And so today we say enough is enough, and we give the power back to the people. We want this government to stop trying to suppress the voices of the Bahamian people, to come clean. Our country is in shambles. And so we say today, enough is enough.
All right, so that's the reason there.
So then, this is on the premise that they are not being allowed to speak in the House of Assembly. On the occasion of that day, they were told they would be allowed to speak.
They were told whether they were not or not. They said their wish
following
would be done in the procedures of the House.
So I'm assuming prior to this, there has been a pattern of consistent
So
suppression.
So they're saying. I can remember. I mean, it's been two that's why I mentioned it when I told the story. That one happened immediately after the news came out, and then it would be in this occasion here. So that was the two that I can think of. But there's been a few back and forth that's happened between. I know for sure the leader of the opposition and the Speaker of the House, of where like conversations and stuff happen, and he's being like kicked out of the house and stuff like that. So this isn't the first time.
Okay. So the cause at hand is, on a big scale, the voice of the people is being quieted. On a small scale, MPs are not being allowed to speak. MPs that are part of the opposition are not being allowed to speak in the House of Assembly. Okay, I understand.
All right, so
this isn't about the police then, or the corruption, or the commissioner, or
but they wanted to say it.
The Minister of National Security.
Jody Ann said she was wondering how come the cameras were ready for the moment. That's what a lot of people said too. Like all of a sudden, like cameras just start standing up. Terrell.
Don't there be cameras in there anyway?
They are in there.
And they always have the video that films the live stream.
Yeah. That live stream's always going. Terrell, did you get a heads up? Was there sip? Can you say or not say if there if there was like talks before to the media house camera person?
Ooh,
it's about to go down.
No, but I believe for it to be what they wanted it to be, that would have been the smart thing to do.
Yeah,
I believe if they didn't, they fell short.
And then so was it?
Because how you do a public protest and don't have the right publicity?
Responsibility then of the you're supposed to be, hey, y'all prevent this.
No. The journalist is an observer. The journalist can watch somebody die from wounds and disease and they don't participate. You're just there to record. That's literally your job. One of the greatest contentions of the journalist is how far do you involve yourself?
Yeah, and Terrell says, no, that makes so much sense that White really could have unlocked the window. I definitely believe he unlocked the window.
Someone say they haven't learned the lesson to lock the window yet. But apparently someone made sure they had the lesson been learned.
Why are these windows why can the windows still open? Why are these windows allowed to be open? Close these windows up, screw them down.
So where are we now? It's Saturday after the week of memes. I was thoroughly entertained. I literally came online only for the memes. If I send you this, everything gone out the window. If I send you this, that means I've had enough. If I send you
they got me. That's not they got me.
Get him is the quote of 2024. Get him. And what do you call it? One of my students came to me and said, Miss Wilson, for last year for our talent show, for our house talent show, we did like a year in review. We did like almost like a news station's year in review. He said he wants to do almost like a Spotify Wrapped, but for Bahamian news. I was like, let's do it.
I got a personal message here from a member of a media house. They said no, they weren't given any particular heads up in terms of what the oppositions had to do. They said they were told that an announcement was coming from the Prime Minister. So because they got the note from the Director of Communications that an announcement was coming, that's why they were positioned in there.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Hey, that so happened that the honourable member of St. Barnabas decided.
Do you think they drew lots to decide who would actually run and grab
That's what I wanted to know. I really wanted to know.
I believe there was a meeting. I believe there was an agreement. I believe
I throw it out?
Mum's got the flu. Dad's got the chicken pox. Out goes you. Catch a tiger by the toe. I feel like that's how they picked.
It's like, okay, got it. Like, okay, I got it, guys.
Yep. And then everyone was like, we all need to rehearse the line when we get caught. Go before the media. Say it with me. The voice of the Bahamian people has been silent. Say it again. The voice. Prepped and ready to go.
Ready to go. So I guess, and I don't know, like, I guess it's the same thing for who's going to unlock the window. So if which one of us get up to unlock the window, it will look less suspicious.
So Terrell says, honestly, we weren't prepared. So Terrell, for those of you that don't know, he is a photographer for The Guardian. He said, honestly, we weren't prepared. I was actually taking a wide picture of Pintard, and I think it was PM or Monroe going back and forth with when Shenandoah grabbed the mace. My picture is a crop of that.
So he's going wide. So yeah, all right.
He wasn't even trying to catch.
Didn't have the zoom lens on. I didn't have the zoom lens. He was a nice wide.
Jody said it's the request for a public holiday that made her chuckle.
Someone said minority rule day. I saw that online. It was like, so we have minority rule day coming up. That's like minority all at that time.
Because December needs a holiday.
It's a minority rule.
Because November has nothing. If we could get one right at the beginning of December,
that would be nice.
That would be nice. Terrell says his secondary imagery, which shows the water spilling, is when he was trying to get a picture of.
That's when the speaker's in fear for her life.
The perpetrator,
that's at that moment that the speaker.
When the speaker said she was in fear for her life. I can't take you guys seriously. That's the bottom line with this. I can't take anything seriously, and yet so many serious things are going on.
Yeah.
So many serious things are going on, but I can't take y'all seriously. So speaking on the Prime Minister's announcement, Delton, what do you feel about the Commissioner of Police resigning? Do you think it was a good thing? Did you see it coming? What are your thoughts? What do you think made him do it in the end? Because after giving a long address, what do you think it was the reaction to the address?
No, I think the address was the precursor. Like, all right, I'm gonna retire. I can give you all.
Oh, you think so?
I think I can give you a few names to look at though. That's it. No. I tell you, I honestly believe it was like his bitch. Like, you know what?
Let me throw a couple names out there.
They're like that last one, like where someone's dying and they write the person's name in blood. They fight. You're like, I would retire. But it was like before, because y'all gonna keep on asking me to go. And when it comes to this story right here, let me just give you all a few names to look at though. I'm gonna stir the pot a little bit right before I leave. So I think it's that. Now, they talk about someone on barbershop talk. I also believe it. Like I think in hindsight, of course, we always go for the top to retire. But I think like there's so many different leaders before it gets to him. That possibly names should be called as well, like persons who are in charge of this department. Because of course he gets to report, but there's so many different things that come to him on a daily basis. Should he micromanage to the point where, oh, you know this is happening? Like, actually, I did not know. I assume that
the people below me are doing their job.
That superintendent, this person here, deputy commissioner, this assistant commissioner, this, I didn't know. But I guess the power always goes to the top, and so there was a call for the top to retire. It was Leslie Miller said, I can play his quote because he was asked about the new commissioner of police, and he said he just hopes the snakes are in the department that don't try to take her out too. I was like, you need that old politician who then retire, who just say whatever you want to say. And Leslie Miller said I can believe. Like,
I didn't see that one.
Oh no, I saw that one. Like when he said it, it's like, oh, I mean, you can say that, although you could say that. And actually, you did say that. Like you just said that. He just hopes the snakes that are around there, that they don't come for her. As I think the words he used. You know what I mean? We got it so we can play it. I should be able to play it. So this is from, I hope they don't sue us. I'm going to ask my friends who work at this department to clear it so they don't come for us. This is from Beyond the Headlines, which Shanice Miller, where he was being interviewed and he gave his opinion on the new on the new commissioner. Yeah, but he said something to the fact that he hopes that they don't take her out, which was his words. That's like, okay. Which means that, I mean, this problem is a deep-rooted problem, especially in the area of police force, that has a lot of ramifications.
From what I understand, this is a fine lady. She has a lot of experience in the Royal Bahamas Police Force. I'm concerned about some of the people she's going to meet there, some of the snakes that are there, that may try to take out in certain areas. I'm very concerned about that.
The snakes there. I hope they don't.
Why Leslie sound like you know exactly who the snakes are? Leslie sound like I know them. I know how they go.
Don't try to take her out.
But I found interesting that there was like next day, new commissioner, she on job. She dismissing and she.
No, she's not in. She's not in yet.
So who did this? This is still old commission.
Who signed that?
This is just a release.
There's no. I don't think
the commissioner of police wishes to inform the public.
But there's no name and at the
no.
bottom. I think it says the office of the commissioner of police. Something like that. I think it's outside the bottom.
No, sir.
It
just says RBPACO. That's office of commissioner. Public affairs and communication.
So I don't think that she is officially being installed.
But can she do stuff while she's not installed?
I don't know. I don't think so. Because I don't know if anyone who's
because
listening
I feel
from
like
news.
if commission done this from the beginning, He might not have had to resign.
I don't know if American News can say, like, did he give a date on his resignation? Was it like, as of now I retire? Or was it like, in a couple of weeks I retire? I don't remember what his letter said. Like, I don't remember seeing the letter.
Oh, no, the date on this suggests that old commissioner did this because it said that the person was discharged on the 2nd. Commissioner resigned, handed in his resignation on the 2nd because Prime Minister announced it on the 4th.
No, that's it.
He maybe gave it on the 3rd. It was announced on the 4th. This was released
so
on the 5th.
someone said that she hasn't officially been named yet. So I don't know exactly, like, did his, because I mean when they showed the clip of her walking to the Prime Minister's office, Fernando was still there, still dressed, still in uniform. So I don't
and grinning all his teeth.
Smiling. It's like, will I be a good?
One thing I've noticed about these older men,
So
when they leave the seat of authority, they be chilled. That's a chill guy.
He's like, will there be a statement from you?
Soon.
Like, you don't worry about that, buddy. It's coming. I didn't think I called names before. You wait now.
How old is Commissioner?
I don't know. I don't know how old he is. Why you say in his 60s? I'm assuming. Why in his 60s? It's like, but you wait. You think I called names before? Now that I'm free, guy. You wait now. So we go wait to see. I gotta get more official. Technically, the Prime Minister has to give a recommendation, and opposition have to accept. I mean, she will be, but technically, she is not yet.
The opposition have to accept. They just look like they don't want to agree.
Now, and on that whole terminology too, that was another thing where the opposition does not necessarily have to accept, which is what I've been made to understand. Like, it's not to be corrected, but but hearing from other politicians that you just have to consult. Consult doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to take what you say, but I have to let you know,
and I have to hear what you have to say.
And I have to hear what you have to say, but I don't have to take into account.
But then hasn't that already happened?
Yeah, and I think also the opposition gave their approval too as well. Because you know what I say.
After throwing out the base.
One thing about Bahamians is pull files, because when that same day when all that happened and they met with Michael Pintard at the FNM headquarters, and he was out in the Prime Minister because he told the Prime Minister to give him a few days to go over the lady and to look at her track record because they wanted to properly vet her. They wanted to vet her. Like, they put up all the pictures of her and Pintard out together, like to get pictures together. They were like, why you up on faking like you don't know this lady? So I was like, why you there acting like you don't know who this commissioner is?
This small
I was like,
island
do not care.
This population of people in the world, there's nobody like you guys anywhere.
Because he's like, we want to take time out just to go over a track record to see. When I said, he said,
and meanwhile, that's your bestie. No,
not that's bestie.
you know that's what people would say.
But you are an MP in Grand Bahama. She was the police officer in charge of Grand Bahama. I'm sure that you all had conversations at some point in time. Like, you know who this lady is, but it was like,
no.
And they put them pictures fast. It was like, this your? This your?
Jody Ann said, he don't know her in that capacity, man. They just casual.
It was like, no, she was in uniform. She was in uniform, he was in a suit, they was taking pictures together, started up. It was like,
yeah, but come on, you take pictures with people all the time.
Nah, but they pulled files.
Oh, gosh, of course they
like,
did.
You know this lady.
Jody Ann said the media pit were chilling, and as he stood, cameras went up. The only person caught off guard was the police that came running 10 years later.
Now, about the concussion. Now, the concussion thing, that was...
First of all, I played over and over again the moment where he claims to have gotten hit and moves away from the window and holds his head. Holds it for a second, brings it down and is like, should I keep this up? And then puts it back on his head.
He went back to that MP from the one from who just got acquitted. He went on him, and then he was looking at his head too. And I was like, what? And then they tied it to like...
It was the ambulance. It was the fact that the paramedics put him in the chair, strapped him up to all kind of tubes and thing. I was like, come on.
It was a bit. Like,
a bit much.
I watched it and I was like, I just see the officer push you and you stumble into the wall a little bit. That's all that happened. Like, the officer pushed you first of all because they're trying to point it towards like Shannon or Cartwright, like he hit him in the head with the mace. It's like,
that mace was out the window by then.
That mace was far out the window before this even happened.
That mace was deep on me.
I was like, you ran towards there and the police pushed you away. And then the police officer, I think there's an officer who they said was injured as well. I'm not quite sure exactly what happened. Him, I said he got his leg injury. I think it's a boy. Oh boy. I repeat this. Someone from a news source is giving information, and I can repeat this.
I want to know.
But I know Ronnie Monk said something similar as well. I heard Ronnie Monk said something along the lines. Because Ronnie Monk was trying to explain like what happened to the officer, and I was like, like I hear what you're saying when you're not saying it. Like I hear what you're saying, even though you ain't saying what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but yeah. But I heard that I think the deputy speaker is okay and is making a recovery from his injury suffered at the event. Now, to me, who looked the worst was Honorable was Adrian White, because they really ragged him. Like his hair was just, like he's been in a fight. That's like,
I think that's what you wanted, though. That's the aesthetic he was going for. Terrell said he's still trying to tell y'all how he lost his Fitbit.
Moment of silence, as Terrell says, moment of silence for his Fitbit that did not make it out of the whole debacle. Like throughout all of it that happened.
We missed this comment earlier. Terrell said earlier on, I don't know about battered and bruised. I did have to rescue a Tribune reporter from being trampled, and I lost my Fitbit.
So apparently they were being bruised and battered. Oh Lord! I told this man I spoke with Jose. I was like, you don't realize this is still the prime minister of the country. Like y'all, like there has to be some kind of security. Y'all know what the security around the prime minister. It's not y'all just want open reign. Y'all just want a free reign, and this is very hostile environment where persons are rallying and sallying, and angry mobs down here with picket signs and a coffin. Like, there has to be some kind of security there. Y'all gotta let's boom rush the prime minister.
Who volunteered the coffin? Who
That's
donated the
coffin? I wouldn't know how to get there.
I
was like, so who brought this here? Like, how
because that was a new coffin.
That's a nice coffin.
And you all brought the nice coffin into the rocker, scratched it up, and that cannot be sold.
Oh, no, they trained that, buddy. They was given Donnie T.
So anyway, the news and reviews.
Someone say Adrian White messed up this whole blowout. The whole blowout was messed up. It was just all over the place. Oh, it looked rough.
For me, I think what the public needs is to be kept abreast on the pressing issue, the things that are making people feel uneasy, making people feel like they can't trust. I think those are the things that they need information on, updates on. And if you can't give an update, I don't know. I don't even know what to say, because it felt like the commissioner couldn't give an update, but sat and gave a 25-minute address anyway.
Yeah. No, I think it's a whole. I think now there's so many stories that like are being, like, even the commissioner brought up, even the story with the man that was killed at the airport.
I was
why are we reminding the public?
So confusing.
There are so many stories that were like still like looming. I guess that's another reason probably why he probably retired as well, because he had the Michael Johnson officer that was caught up in the whole thing a few months ago. That still is not being solved. Where they pinpointed that's when the guy from the States was the whistleblower and pointing out all those things, and there's still been like murders happened from that. That wasn't addressed. So that was Michael. He was just put on garden leave. You know this one. He was just put on garden leave, and then he had the stories, of course. Now the one in New York, and so many other things that was like sort of being piled up against. And I always say I do not believe. I think in every organization there's going to be bad apples. And if you don't believe that, something has got to be wrong with you, because we was in the midst of heaven with God, and Lucifer was around. In every organization, there's going to be bad apples.
Come on, Minister Preach.
You cannot accept that. You gotta expect that in the police organization, everybody's going to be law-abiding citizens. But don't forget, when Lucifer leave, carry a third.
Agreed. But I think, Delton, and I tried to say this in barbershop talk, but I feel like they misunderstood me. That's why
I give you a microphone, man. You talk.
I think if 1 in 2 of your encounters with the police, you're dealing with a badder of the apples, you're going to believe that the majority are that way, right? Because on the ground, on the lowest level, you encounter several in a short. For me, I've not been here that long, and I maybe haven't encountered that many. Right. But I will tell you that the majority, because I think my comments seem like, oh, she's been around police a lot. No, I think the point is I haven't. But the few encounters I have are always negative, like always remarkably, indelibly negative. I don't understand that. I don't get why that exists. So for me, if on the lower level, people are having these encounters in there every day when you get stopped for a traffic this or you talk to a police, like, what? Wow, why do you have to come in? Why are you singing those so loud? Is this what you want to come and encourage the Saints with today?
Go watermelon. Go watermelon.
Yeah, can I have some? I'm dying. I don't know. I'm so hungry. I think I'm going to wither away. Okay.
Because you have a good night.
I mean, we're all dying, though, aren't we?
You don't split brothers up.
Just not. I'm not seeing that. Bill ain't dying?
Yeah, so we started. iPod? No, it's a computer. Yeah. New old one. So yeah, we know we're just wrapping up the whole. We were just wrapping up this whole scenario. Who win? In essence, I guess Adrian White.
Whoever had the best meme is the winner. I really believe Adrian White win for free.
No, he was the one.
Shannon don't come last.
He come last.
He come last.
Yeah,
I believe so. And to be honest, I've seen him about. He seems like a really nice guy. I believe he drew a lot in a meeting and he had to follow through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think he came last, unfortunately.
In the ground. I don't think he's the person that would have. You talking to Mike or you just go to us?
Say what you're saying. I'm intrigued.
I think he's the one that would say, you know what, I don't. And not because
Okay.
I think he's that kind of like. He has that kind of boldness.
I can
For those
I can,
who
I
are
can
unaware
believe
what's
that.
happening right now,
But I think the
just
premise
fast
is
as
still
talking.
the same. The premise is still that this was a group that decided and one person had to be the actioner. The one person had to be the face. One person's name had to go in the stream for doing the act.
Are you trying to figure
It was him.
how that process even came about? Like who, like how they any mini money mo? Yeah, how do they cast lots for that? Like someone said.
So that's what I was saying.
Now White's gonna open the window.
Not like a reluctant, not like he was reluctant now. I don't think it was like, oh, I don't want to do it, but I'll do it for the cause. No, I believe he believes in the cause, of course. But you're the name that we're going to remember did this in an act of.
I need some person. You got talking to Mike Reft.
Here just talking to us and not having
That's
mic.
privately.
I need some person with some understanding of behavior in the street to tell me when them other people throw the mace out the window. I don't know about them.
What other people?
Oh yeah, I heard you
I've
mention
been
that.
seeing a list going around that said that there were several persons that threw the mace out the window besides Celine.
Oh, then.
And I never.
Was it our mace?
Huh?
Was it our mace? Or you talking about our mace in general?
No, there was. I've seen it. I can't now. I don't know what page it was on.
Well, then Mr. Cartwright's going to be added to that same list of people who did it, but we don't know about.
No, I think we can know about Cartwright. I think because Cartwright happened in the social media era. So
I mean, but like 10, 15 years down the line, that's going to go in the books? You think so? I think we know about it now, like it's buzzing and hot now, but I think as a matter of historical reference and point, because that time, those people, maybe they didn't have social media, but they had newspapers, they had TV.
I think it would have been.
It's only the last 50 years. You all had internet that time.
I think it would have been so much more effective
I'm trying to
if
fix the protest.
if they had gotten. You could have more than the last one. I already ate one of these.
Okay.
Yeah, one. I think it would have been so much more effective if it had gotten back around to Patricia DeVoe, speaker. That's the name, right? And she then said to the opposition leader, okay, you said you noticed late last time, and this time you're this and that and the other. So, based on rule number so-and-so, you are not going to be able to speak. You are not going to speak on this. We're moving forward the agenda. If she had come back around and said you can't speak, and then they go for the mace, I think that would have been more effective.
Because it would have made the reason for the throwing clearer.
I don't think that the throwing was justified at the time it was thrown.
And that's the point. That's the point we make.
So I'm saying, so if she had
that's
said,
why I say come last.
if she had said, when she said, I come back to you after this, then that point in the agenda, and then we got there, and then she said, now you can't talk.
Now, has that happened before? Because you creating this scenario, like this hypothetical situation that would have justified it, but their claim is that this has happened, or this in some way, maybe not in the same order, but they've been silenced at the point where they should have been.
If there
able to
was
speak.
some semblance of that,
But then we have all these sit-ins on record. We have all these things live streamed. They should be
but what
able
I'm
to
saying,
pull file and say.
let's say it did happen before. It probably did. Probably did when they felt like they were robbed of their time or the time allocated, or they didn't allow whatever the case is, and what they always lean on is speaker's discretion. They like to lean on that which is true. Speaker does have discretion. They lean on that a lot, and they're saying these are some pertinent national issues. We should be allowed to speak. And to a certain extent, I agree with these what's happened this last week is not the norm. This is critical. The nation is up in arms, and we must also always remember that there has never been a time in this country when the opposition represented like less than 47, 48% of the country, of the electorate. There's never been a time in this country.
Say that again.
In the independent Bahamas, where the opposition represented less
have been
than...
so outnumbered by...
They're always about 47, 48% of the populace. So even if it's two of them in there, they represent still 47%, 48% of the populace. So if it's something of national significance, and we know that there is an agenda, I'm not saying the speaker could, I'm not saying she should, but she definitely could allow for that kind of whatever. Watch your little blouse. I bet you can get up no more today. You can fix it?
Why? What?
Nothing nice.
Why don't you want me to be great? This is the question. This is the question on the floor.
So I think it should have been saved for something significant, like in the midst of another heat. Like if it was done last session.
I'm fine.
I got it.
That's so...
I want you to be great, though. I want you to go and be great.
Thank you.
What is it?
It's time to go.
So, clean.
Fancy. I think if they'd done it last session, when he was trying to get in, and she didn't let him to speak after the prime minister, I think that would have been like perfect.
And then at that
like
time too, you had to think of though. He had she could use discretion definitely because of the situation.
Right, but I'm saying how she didn't.
Yeah,
if he'd have jumped up right there while
let's grab into it.
While Pia was talking,
let's grab into
the
it.
Honorable Pia Global.
You think so?
It would at least been more. It had more justification. Like I trying to talk and y'all let me talk.
They were no way then though because the window would have been open.
Windows closed. Yeah. Windows closed.
That would have been.
But then the next thing about throwing the mace that I think, I mean, again,
You
it
see,
is what it
no,
is.
this isn't fair. When we invited you to come an hour ago, you say you don't want to talk about it. Now we're ready to move on. You won't give us the D.
Down now. People's hot there. Y'all come on there, it's hot.
No, it's you. But you warming the Saints up right now.
Yeah.
You warming the Saints up right now.
I think there's something to be said that the mace is thrown to the people, not thrown on the stage.
That's all I think.
They didn't plan it, man.
I think they thought
they did, but poorly.
No, they forgot John Nu. They forgot John Nu's decision.
Yeah, I think.
That's why are you doing this?
Because I can put my gamma on.
Yeah, you know. But hey, I don't know.
For me,
so do we think that?
I already say with my.
Do you think the PLP gained some a little bit of reprieve, a little bit of break? You think this takes the pressure off the PLP?
No.
You think it's added some fire to the effort?
Because I think to blame the circumstances, the situation on the sitting government is ignorant, because these issues are deep rooted and have existed for, we've got cockroaches coming out of the woodworks now, but they always lived in the house. So it's a case of you want to blame them because you feel like you need someone to blame. But whoever was in power now would be blamed.
So you're saying, so what you're trying to tell me is that,
I feel like
hold on. You're trying to tell me.
Let me tell you what you're trying to tell me. Let me tell you what you're trying to tell me.
When I come home to my house, and Vera was watching the house, and she only been there for 2 hours. But the roaches are out when she is there, that I can't blame Vera. Are you out of your mind? It's Vera's fault.
No, you can. But to say that Vera is listen, you didn't
Joe
let me finish.
Joe Populic,
you did, and that's why
rational.
You did, and because I literally was gonna say the unemotional, sober view of the circumstance is not going to have them sitting any higher or any lower as a result of the events that have happened. The unemotional, sober view is still like, So what are the solutions to the problems that we are facing? That's really what I think anybody is asking. Some people
get that unemotional.
No, but I think everybody is asking that question in different ways, though. So what's the solutions? Some people believe that resignation is a solution. We just want solutions, That's what the solution. The mace is not a solution for me. Even if it's a symbolism, it's not a solution. The resignation, as much as it may not have much impact, felt momentarily like movement towards a solution.
Now, you know what the mace does do, what it can do? It can create that energy that says we're going against the grain. Like, that's what it can do. Not saying it did do it this week, but that's what those kind of acts can do. It what's the word that's hot now? It's a kind of disruption. TJ started thinking about disruptors. I think he did a book about it, right?
I don't think it was Donald Trump.
No, man. No, but anyway, that word has showed up a lot now about disruptors. So it could start an avalanche of disruptions.
But I think the disruptions...
Which could be a good thing.
Agreed, but the disruptions have to be towards the right problem. I feel like saying the government is the problem is not... That's kind of a futile pursuit. Like, brave gotta go. Okay, he goes and then... Do you understand what I mean? Like, okay, disruptors, what are we channeling our energy towards? Specific policies, specific groups, a specific department.
Disruptions, from where I'm coming from, I don't know if disruptions...
What are we questioning?
What I'm talking about disruptions is the fact that there just becomes a chain reaction of movements where you just haven't like...
Because what you're describing is what I feel like would feel good to watch.
I'll say this,
but won't actually achieve anything.
I hope nobody get offended. I'll say that, and they're watching too bad. Revolution Church started disruptive culture in churches. It ain't necessarily meaning that people can do what Revolution did, but like it kind of emboldened persons who were contemplating making bold moves. Say, you know what? I can make a bold move. So some of them bold moves may not be good moves, but some may. You know what I'm saying? Like it may have inspired the altruistics.
You keep using this word.
I love it. And it may have inspired the charlatans. So we can have some wins and some losses. The disruptor may have. It can have that didn't make no sense, but it's actually going to inspire this one who will make some sense.
I think because I...
No?
I agree.
Okay,
I agree. But I think because I'm still trying to process it. Because church culture is so much, I know church culture, knowledgeable about it. Mm-hmm. I can see where disruptors, whether good or bad, would be moved. I can see what they're challenging. I can see it. I get it. And because I know what the culture is, I know what our flaws are. I know what I know where we're stale. I know where we're stagnant. I know where we're a bit smelly. I know where because I'm part of it. Maybe because I'm not too immersed in politics and, policy and things. I don't quite know. I don't know where that would be channeled to. I don't know what the disruptors, good or bad, would be doing.
I don't see it I don't even see it from a politics standpoint. When I talk about that act of disruption, when a wave of disruptions hit.
Okay.
I don't think it's just political. I think it you may have so indirectly where someone actually sends a file of someone trying to do a $10 million corrupt deal in the Ministry of Works, where somebody blow that whistle. You may have a case where someone was trying to give 10 illegal citizenship without going through any procedure, and somebody blows that whistle. Or, so that kind of disruption where it gets kind of wakes up things where things that start showing up. You find out that this person was clearing $2 million worth of things through custom and they was paying $500, or they gave this person some money to build their house. And therefore they got this custom exemption. So it's that kind of thing that can be spurred. That's what I'm saying, that's what it could do.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. That culture of disruption, that creating a disruptive energy.
That's a very specific example to give.
I just throw it.
That's a very specific example.
You didn't highlight it. You can just let it go. Why you had to draw attention to it?
And all his references were right here.
Yeah.
They were right at this level. They weren't up here, and they weren't down here.
I don't
right here.
know what y'all talking about. I was just
right here,
shooting in the breeze.
Throw some of that.
Saying one or two things.
Throw some against the wall to a stick.
Two sticks.
But we could use it. We could use some stuff. Some more things.
That's what the commissioner said in his address, that they were establishing a whistleblower.
Y'all didn't give commissioner a chance. That's the problem.
Yeah, he established that. I was like, all right, you all right.
The problem is, I feel like it's a matter of trust.
Yeah, matter of trust.
The trust is so eroded that we believe the Chinese listen to that phone call. We believe the Chinese is whoever.
Chinese. The babies listen to that. That's why we trust you.
I only say Chinese to say that, but I'm saying Chinese mean anybody who ain't supposed to be listening, listen.
Yeah. We don't believe. There's like we said this number, it go into Canada and it go all over the place.
Behemoths don't believe that.
We don't know. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And when I said this anonymous step, this going over Canada, and my calls get scrambled. Scrambled in what? What is scrambled in? What you mean my call is being scrambled? I don't believe it. Don't believe it at all.
Yeah, that's part of the challenge. We ain't just all of that.
No.
So I mean that civilian oversight thing. I do agree with what former Prime Minister said. Minister says we have all kind of laws, we don't enforce nothing.
Speaking of Prime Minister, I think he was the MVP tonight of the day, because he's a member of the opposition, and he pulled up there around 12:30, 1 o'clock. And he come with the car, sharply dressed. It's like, hey guys, what's happening? He hop on the car after all the commercials finished.
I've been a fan.
Because you realize he was a no picture. He was nowhere. He was nowhere.
I really have been a fan.
Like, you forget he's a part of that for them until he
Contrary
showed
to
up.
popular belief. Honestly, I forget he's a sitting MP. I really do forget.
All that happened, and then round 1:30.
And likely will be again.
He show up like,
that's the point. The point
like
is
he will be again.
He more than likely
undisturbed.
Persons are saying, I've heard from persons who live in this area in Killarney, persons who I've spoken to are known PLPs who tell me they vote for Hubert Minnis.
Because
they said he's an amazing MP.
No, that man don't need a photo op. He don't need no. He don't need no party on the park. He don't do no giveaway. But that guy,
he does things though. He does things in the area.
No, but what I mean is like he's not trying to. He's not out there.
No,
I know. I believe he's doing things. He has to be because the people that vote for him. But he's not out there. He's not here to make a bunch of noise. He's not here to cause any kind of ruckus.
Yeah,
you don't need me in any pictures, good or bad. Definitely don't put me in that.
Your plan to do what? It's like, all right, let me know when to finish. And he said,
what time you saying it for?
He said down home and he watched that live. All right, let me get dressed. It's like call the driver, let me get a dress.
The fact of the time that he showed up also confirms that this was a plan.
Oh no, it had to be a plan. I don't think there's any doubt that this was a plan.
I mean,
and them trying to suggest that it wasn't a thing is like, don't do that, man. You're killing it.
Who says it wasn't a thing?
Oh, they
tried to suggest that it wasn't.
It was a plan. It was spur of the moment.
But I think it's worse. I think it would have been worse. I think it's worse to argue that you decided your emotions overwhelmed you so much in that moment. Because of what? To throw the mace out the window? I'd prefer that based on a pattern of systematic suppression. You decided this is what we're going to do today. So regardless of whether we're quieted or silenced or she says what you suggested she say, because this is an issue bigger than today, let us take an act. Let us take a stand. If you tell me that based on how I feel today and how she carried on today, I threw out the mace, you worse. You worse. That's worse. So they better off to say this was planned because we have had a series of issues. That this has come up multiple times. So this wasn't an isolated incident. This incident is to represent, a persistent problem. I'll take that over. I got so mad today, I threw the mace out.
I get so mad. The first thing comes to my mind.
Because I tried to talk and she won't let me talk. That's what it sounds like.
The first thing comes to my mind is let me get him throw this mace with this window.
Somebody I know posted on their Facebook says, I believe I liked it. Or did I like it? Maybe I was conflicted about liking it. But she said, I just don't believe Sir Lyndon Pinlin would have been so womanish about it. And I was like,
so what?
Womanish.
What is womanish? Why they call it womanish?
That's what she said.
I ain't going for it, man. I call my brethren them womanish.
Now, whether brethren or not, it's very emotional. It's
Yeah, it's
a little bit emotional.
It's emotional.
They carrying you out and you lift your feet off the ground. Come on.
No,
Come on. Come on. Come on.
It's upside down. It's not going to close. I saw you struggling. I'm just to let you know. For me, and
if you come here just to help your friends, then you need to do this.
No. I'm gonna say this point. Yeah, my friends. Everybody's my friend. Everybody's my friend.
I friends everybody.
For me, I can say this, and I said this by disclaimer. Just me and I just saw Shannon Dawn the other day in one store, and we talked for long. It's my boy. But
I love it.
Linden Pinlin loving person that I am, I was kind of offended by what happened on this week. Man, there's an act that Sir Linden has done to change the course of this nation. Man, don't play with that, man. I think you can't do it, but you better make it count, man.
Yeah.
You can't.
Do you think?
You can't just come and you can.
Because you said it would have been more justified, right? Do you think?
I still would like that one for Sir Linden. I need more going on.
Do you think that?
I
do you think the state of the nation warrants that? That anything about the state of the nation warrants that act? Like on our worst day, say on our worst day, that act could be warranted.
Not in light of what Sir Linden and them did it for, because Sir Linden has sanctified that act.
Hence why they last. That's why I'm saying. Because for me, you're equating the current climate of the Bahamas to that time. You taking the act and you're saying that we are back here.
Let's say
in some way, shape, or form. Maybe not in racial discrimination, but in some way, state or form, we are back there. And I feel like no.
Let's say if God forbid, the New York thing comes out, they name the commissioner of police and get pictures with him. They got stuff on a cabinet minister and they put it out there, and all them their names are all in there. But we still see the commissioner in uniform the next day.
Mm-hmm.
We still see the cabinet minister. I'm saying, you still see the cabinet minister showing up in the house, and he's sitting there, and then the prime minister carrying on with the business of the house. Okay.
But
all right, we need to break this up.
Hold on.
Somebody need to break this up.
Even with the level of corruption that exists that people are worried about, we still don't believe something that bizarre would happen. Hence why that is not warranted. If we lived in a place where, boy, it really could be that, this place is so corrupt that if they called so-and-so's name, they would still have a job the next day.
Right.
Bahamians don't believe that. Bahamians know that if the car facts come out and name get called, the person getting fired. They might not get fired before their name get called, but when their name called, they're getting fired. There are some places in the world where people know if the name get called, the people still have a job the next day. This is not that place. That's not a fear that exists here. Therefore, never, not warrant. Like at this point in time, it's not warranted.
Yeah.
It's not warranted.
It's and you know, I might just be one of those who need to get over it. But
over what?
The way I have that throne the mace out there is so engraved in my mind, and it's.
You need to get over the throne of the mace.
Because
I don't think so.
It became so like to me. It was like, oh my God, you desecrated that. You desecrated that sacred act.
But then, based on the fact that you said that there other people have done it multiple times,
that's why I need.
I never said no. I
saw that post a few places that said,
"Who are they? Who are they?"
Get somebody. If anybody else saw the post, where
any of our journalist friends who are listening, can anybody?
But I think that only supports the idea that was sanctified. That was sacred. So people that have gone after, your names don't even get called. We don't even know about you. You're not relevant.
I think someone said random folks did it.
I never heard of that.
Let me go on. Let me see if Google know. The gal.
Anyway, Delton, what other news and reviews did we have? Let me read some of these comments. Rashad came in.
Did you comment about Bishop Jakes?
Oh no!
Oh,
gosh almighty!
What
about that?
That passed there, do we?
What other things? I feel like something else happened. Something else big happened in church world.
Besides him, I know his thing was a big thing.
Somebody died.
Anybody?
Because we've been gone a month.
If I was a pastor in Texas, I'd just I'm moving out of Texas.
Why?
It's supposed to be a lot of Texas pastors and a whole lot of stuff, man.
See, you need your own show for this kind of stuff.
Oh, y'all don't know these kind of stuff? Oh my God.
So Rashad is here, said Vera, Bishop Delton's also here. Sorry, Rashad, he's just taking himself off camera. I'm unsure why, and I'm just not going to fight that fight today. The three people can't fit?
There's no third camera.
You had your camera on?
That looked horrible.
It did. Rashad said the throw wasn't justified at all. All Delton's there too. Good afternoon, all. It's the fact that he threw the mace in slow motion and like 7 million people was on him and still no difference. These issues exist in all governments. None of them adequately do their job, whether PLP or FNM. Thus, this country will continue to go round the mulberry bush. We bind it in Jesus' name. We declare
we will not.
There will be breakthrough. I hope some bishop ain't building right now.
Oh, some bishop ain't building.
I hope some bishop ain't building right now.
When
you were naming the certain whistleblowing offences, hypothetically, Rashad said my boy was like we.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
His actions. Why won't it show when I click it? It's not coming up.
It's not.
No. His actions just didn't match what's been happening recently. So Lyndon had a purpose, Cartwright did not, and was just emotional. Murphy got her doctorate. My God.
That's what's been happening.
I don't understand Bahamians.
Yeah, that's
Bahamians are like, Cindy, come back.
Oh, yeah, Cindy
Murphy
came
get
back
a doctorate. The mate's gone out the window. Oh, there's a lot going on. Cindy's back and her husband's in jail. But I thought, in my mind, I was like, Cindy, I believe there's a reason he's been arrested. I believe there's a reason he's arrested. Definitely. And you out here on the internet trying to rile up people's emotions. For me, and that's, for me, the sticking point. The act of throwing out the mace or whatever that. Are you bringing us closer to solution? And I hear the thing you're saying about disruptors. Or are you feeding the sense of unrest? Are you like riding the sensationalism of social media? Because if you are, you're doing more harm than good.
I think that's what made the Lyndon mace throwing. Like this was like a part of a plan that's going to a great cause. Like this wasn't just like one outlier event. Because now what happens next? Like what happened after that?
What happens next?
That happened after that. They're going across the road, have a meeting. And then after that, house
it was crazy.
The house resumed.
I think that was so calculated by Prime Minister Davis to announce that we had our meeting afterwards.
As we should.
Like,
that's not calculated. I just stating facts. Don't let these people swing you.
Like that'll happen. We gonna go through that meeting.
We gonna go through that meeting.
And everybody's calm and cool.
Getting on this and that. What, really?
See, Dwayne's doing that thing that Jody does, where they make a statement about something they assume we know well, but they hadn't sent us any videos or any receipts. He said the Daystar drama is the other huge church news. So sad.
Oh yes.
I saw a post, but I don't know.
Chris Church?
Seventh Adventist. That's Seventh Adventist.
What's Daystar?
Daystar. Remember. Oh Lord Jesus. Last name is.
I thought Daystar was Seventh Adventist.
The brother who he died during COVID. He's one who was pushing against asking someone to that, and he died. The owner of Marcus Lamb. Marcus and Tony Lamb. Whoa. No.
I heard about when I saw Daystar, one thing in my mind was Daystar's Seventh Adventist.
Nigeria Daystar.
No, Daystar Seventh Adventist is 3 ABN.
Well, they did.
Yeah, Dwayne, you got if you're gonna drop references like that, you got to send us deets. We don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what the Daystar thing. I that mixed up. So Daystar.
I just typed in Daystar drama.
No, I saw it was Mark Denton. It was Jensen Franklin's right. So
maybe I didn't see that. We gotta look up to that. There's a lot of brother Jake's. There's a lot going on there.
All right, Kevin Moore says 2 words to describe Wednesday event: stage play. Bus a ride, now Bay Street.
Oh.
Yeah,
so their son is being accused of sexually assaulting or abusing their daughter, and covering it up.
Oh, thanks. I saw a few like religious pundits that follow on YouTube.
I've just quoted that wrong. Sorry.
On YouTube, like comment on it, but I didn't watch anybody yet. I didn't watch anybody talk about it.
Oh, so claiming that a relative had abused the daughter and her husband covered it up.
Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't watch anything on that yet.
What about the? I mean, this is definitely. But yeah, y'all do. Y'all talk about everything. Serious, not too serious, and then funny. The fact that the persons who are allegedly guilty for both the death of Adriel and Sister Vanessa, I keep on forgetting the last name.
Yeah.
Were mentally disturbed. What do we say to that? What is happening here? I mean, we have so many folks that we pass on the road. I know one thing for me, and this is, I probably should be more concerned, but if I see anybody like mental, if they exposing themselves or playing with themselves or anything like that, I stop it.
Stopping as into...
I confront them. I try to get attention, and I try to call some law enforcement, whatever the case is. To me, it's a problem.
Yeah.
But I wonder what are we doing about that reality? What can we, can we grab all of them? You don't know where everybody is, but yeah.
I think I can't remember, they were on, I can't remember the number they said, but they said it's like almost basically say that the average behaving person, that's almost what it results in, has some like level of mental disability or is like unstable in some way. They were on yesterday.
I ain't sure. I don't know what it is.
I think there's so many terminologies that they have to describe these things now.
Oh, I got you.
They are now lumping them under the terminology of this mental, like they have some mental disorder or mental issues.
There's so many like branches, roots. Because first we got to talk about diagnosing of these things, reporting and diagnosing of these things, of mental, not necessarily even disabilities, like off balance. Right? And then what infrastructures exist to support people with these issues?
Right.
Because when presidents, we gather them all up, and then where they go? Let's just say, let's go for the ones you can see on the street.
Right.
Ghanaians have a saying, translated in English, many are mad, few are roaming. So let's just go for the people. Let's just go for the people.
Right.
Let's go for the people we can see, those that we know have mental, based on just what you can see. They're on the road. Typically, a lot of them are homeless. Because it's not like they roam for the day and then find their way home to have a night's sleep and then decide I'm going for a day of roaming. Most of them are homeless. So let's go with the one. Let's say that they do a clean sweep. They go through the streets, take those who are mentally disturbed or have mental imbalances or mental disabilities. And then what? Where'd they go? Where they go? How are they treated?
That's a challenge.
So it's just this problem. This is huge. This is huge.
When you have geriatrics hospitals saying that the amount of people that they have is so much more than what it was before, because people are dropping off their older loved ones, and I can't stand up on a soapbox and like we're better than they are, but I that's my little caveat to say that I just can't understand that. But it's just because I can't understand it. Not because I'm better than anybody else. I just can't understand that idea. But there's so many persons who just drop their parents off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hospitals complain all the time. Where I think now they're partnering with the government now. I mean, the government's partnering with homes, private homes, to take on like what they call the borders.
The borders,
the hospital. So now there's private homes who they now pay to take care of the amount of person that they have who just got to the hospital. Someone dropped them off to the hospital, they had an issue, got treated.
Right.
No one ever come back for them. So
do similar systems exist for people with mental disabilities?
No, the point I want to make is that, before I even answer that question, is that if we're doing this to our parents and grandparents, what about our off-balance, unbalanced, mentally challenged sibling or uncle?
And I think
if we're doing it to our parents.
Right. And I think also a lot of cultural education comes with being able to relate to people like that in a human way, in a sympathetic and empathetic way. Because even then, I think the way we even see those people needs to be addressed. Mm-hmm. It's like pushed to the side. Yeah. There's no necessary, almost like you're to blame for. Because for me, if I see somebody who's mentally unstable touching themselves or doing something inappropriate, I'm immediately sorry for, I don't blame you for that. I can see that you aren't necessarily in control of all your faculties or whatever. Right. Do we have that? Do we have that kind of education and understanding? So our treatment of those people, just on a day-to-day interaction, the ones we meet at work, because a lot of those people who are slightly off in school, they grow up and they have jobs and they're sitting across from us at the desk.
You know the challenges? The challenge is the persons who avail themselves of that information are the folks who would not be the problem. You know what I mean? Like the persons who actually are, there are places where you can become more sensitized. There are groupings and communities, so to speak. People who go to get that information are the ones who don't need it because they're already sensitized. So
you're saying it's something we should feed people?
I wonder,
rather than make people have to go and find it.
You asked me, do these things exist? They do exist, but the people who go to them are the ones who are not going to be the problem in any event.
I don't mean like the groups. I know the groups exist, but I just mean like the understanding that like collectively we need to think like that.
That will require some sort of general kind of movement. I'll never forget when I sat. We in the Wong's Plaza. You didn't catch this phase. You came downstairs Wong's Plaza, but upstairs Wong's Plaza, we did a little partnership with Reach because they were right across the street. So I was there when we hosted them. We provided a little food and stuff, and they came and did a thing at the church. I was so educated. Mm-hmm. I was like, I felt so dumb in the room. Like, this is another world that I know absolutely nothing about.
But I think the acknowledgement of an issue is what triggers that kind of campaign.
Right.
Like a national, because I existed in the time in the UK where we went from being insensitive to people with mental disabilities to being highly, highly conscious and very, very sympathetic and empathetic. I lived in the time where the nation realized we had an issue, went to great extents to educate the nation, and now the nation has a different kind of consciousness and sensitivity.
You are a brilliant educator. You are so much smarter than I am. I can never be as smart as you are. What?
Definitely not if you're patronizing me.
When does a mental health challenge, because you used the word just now that we wasn't using, when does a mental health challenge become a mental disability?
A mental health challenge and a mental disability are two different things.
See, I tell you smarter than me, because I don't even, that's why when you help me.
A mental disability is something that you're born with, or that's something like as a result of an incident that affects you and disables you. A health challenge is a health challenge, something that you can maybe be cured from, you can overcome with the right kind of support. Some people would say with the right kind of medication. But disability is something more of the sense that it wasn't like born with one arm.
Right.
Or you lose an arm. That's
right.
a disability.
Right.
But a challenge is you injured your hand, you injured your arm, and you need the support to heal. I think that's not necessarily the dictionary definition, but that's how I understand the difference between a mental health issue.
Got you.
I think disabilities can come under mental health issues, but if you have a disability, it's not necessarily can be healed or cured. Something that can be treated, can be supported. But like a mental health challenge, like things like anxiety, depression, that you can get after some experience in life, but it doesn't disable you per se.
I'm afraid of how wide this thing is.
And I think, I think just like anything, how you break
like
your arm,
you don't treat it,
then
it can become a disability.
Yeah. Okay. But I just, the point I'm making is that how we needed, I guess, because we were very insensitive to people with mental health challenges, but I believe it's so wide now, we making crutches available, people who can walk on their own.
That's what thing. That's okay. I think Rashad is on that. Like, do we just slap these mentally challenged on everyone that seems off, or are they truly mentally challenged?
But then, when you say seems off, 9 times out of 10, if someone's off, they are probably dealing with a mental challenge. In the same way that when you're off, it could be because you're going through deep depression, like grief is overwhelming you, stress. That's, as you say, the very wide spectrum of that is a mental challenge. But we shouldn't, lump you as, you need treatment or you need medication but it does count as a mental health challenge.
I'm sure I would have been on somebody's spectrum with mental health challenges, Lord doesn't come for me. Some people with some that children with mental challenges need some discipline. Some may need some counseling. Some may just need some discipline and some structure. Some may need parenting.
I think
I'm
that's
afraid
true.
of
I think
this.
we deal with that with children, though. I think when you talk about things like, do you need parenting, discipline? I think that's children, but adults is I think that's a different ballgame. And I think we're talking more about adults, because when it comes to children, I agree wholeheartedly. Sometimes because of their lack of ability to communicate, the fact that they're still learning, their brain is still developing, we can't just we shouldn't put a tag on them and label them for life. But when it comes to adults, your brain done fully developed and you're still dealing with some of this stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know if a person with stress in life, because they stress so bad, and whatever, if that should be a reason for them to get a lesser sentence for their dumbness.
Oh, no, but it isn't, though.
Okay, as I'm saying, I hope we ain't going that way.
No, I don't think so.
I hope not.
Now, if you live in the UK, if you feeling stressed and your doctor sign a note, 10 weeks off of work. With pay.
10 weeks?
You get as long as you want.
Thanks. Because of stress.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a move for that too.
The doctor signed that note.
Not as extreme, but there is a move for the inclusion of mental health days along with like sick days and regular off days, that there's been a push from that to be included in person stays. Yeah, so that's definitely been a movement to include that. Now, in terms of, these incidents, I have some comments and some opinions and some things, some feelings that I would not share on the radio because I don't have any like proof of any of them. But I've had some experiences where
feelings. You need proof of feelings?
No, but I don't want to be offensive to anybody. And,
okay, don't offend them.
Yeah, because I've seen some of these persons with mental health challenge that like it's like something happens and then they all of a sudden sober up real quick. Like something like even if you go to guys that you see on the streets that'll be walking in the middle of the road like acting chaos, man, you see a car coming towards them, all of a sudden they walk on the side of the road. or like you said, like, or you approach somebody that you see them doing something, all of a sudden they run. Like you doing that, I stop the car to get out of you. All of a sudden you bring a friend. What you running for?
You ain't that challenge.
You ain't that challenge.
Yeah, you know what you're doing.
I know of a case like that. This guy still comes on East Street right now, and that people have called mentally challenged. But I heard someone that lived next door to him, and every morning as he walks past his mommy house, gets breakfast. He talks to his mommy, and then he go walk the street.
You see now, that's Delton. I think you're addressing something different. It's easier to live like you have no idea what's going on. I look at them people. I believe they've chosen this life. I believe, should I work and stress for my money? I'm going to be a little bit dirty and a little bit hungry and have no other worries? I believe they've chosen that life for themselves. Absolutely.
And lives in the back of his
I believe
house.
some of them have decided, I'd rather not be stressed. All of y'all who's drive and have places to go and things to do, you look like you're going through it. I'm over here pretending I have no idea about anything.
Are you talking to the streets?
That's okay. I talking to myself.
I always give me
So Delton,
y'all give me food.
I agree with you. I don't even think that's offensive. I think it's fair. I feel like there are some people who have chosen that, who have just figured out.
Let's just call it plan C.
Yeah, to say this life or that life. I prefer this
like
one.
Instead of working.
My friend who lives, my friend on the corner of Village Road and Bernard Road, that Village Road, Soldier Road, Bernard Road, Wolf Road crossing. One guy that comes out there. He's chosen that life.
You mean a young guy? Who'll be dancing?
A young guy.
Who'll be dancing the street?
He's chosen.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen him. I've seen him having like amazing conversations with people on the side.
Very intellectual. He's chosen that life for himself.
Had some amazing conversations.
He's chosen that dancing in the street. No cares, no worries. Talking to himself, talking to the cars, talking to the bush, talking to who feel like talking. He's chosen that life for himself.
And then after he put his music on the earphones and let's dance on the streets. Have a good time. Put on the show for people. So I mean, like, you have those cases. That's why.
I feel like if you gave him the opportunity to get a job,
but why do I do?
Pick that. I think he'd still choose that life.
Why would I go to 9 to 5? But I can get up when I want to.
No, it's I with you, Delton. I definitely think some people, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, like I think they have a challenge up to a point. They're like, okay, all right, let's turn this challenge off now. So I don't like the fact that they're saying that they can't name the person. That part I don't understand. That they can't name the person, especially in the case of Sister Vernisha, because they say they caught the person in the act, if I remember correctly. So I'm not quite sure exactly why we can't name the person, because they have a mental challenge or mentally disabled. I don't understand these things like that. And you having sexual intercourse and stuff like that, and raping and killing somebody, but then we can't name you. I don't quite understand. I don't get that. I don't know what's the. I understand the whole idea of juveniles. You know, I don't like that either. Because you're a young person, you killed somebody. No, I won't know your name. In case you get out, even that I don't like. But I sort of understand it.
What happened with the little boy who allegedly killed himself? Nothing. That was another thing that rocked the nation, and we didn't hear anything about it. No. The one who it was the belt around his neck.
Yeah.
Literally nothing.
Big thing on the news. Big thing talked with the mummy again. Yeah. And stuff that wasn't in the news became the news. And then after a while, the story that just a bit.
I thought about the thing that I had written, the leading the Lord gave me when I came back. And I actually...
I feel go, yeah. I mean, we leave it now.
I actually think this is perfect that I haven't released it yet. I like that I'm going to release it this week. I like it. Because a part of it, I speak about how this will be forgotten.
Right.
In short order. And it's now gone.
Yeah. No, there's sensationalism with that. I mean,
gone.
It's moved past.
You mean for Adriel?
Yeah. We've moved on.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and so this
But are we wrong for that?
No, and that's what I said. Remember, I said that. I said we're not going to blame anybody. It just kind of happens organically.
Right.
Yeah.
But the challenge is that there's still going to be hundreds of children walking in the bush. and being the junk canoe practice or being whatever, and not knocking junk canoe practice, whatever the case is, but volleyball, track, basketball, all that kind of good stuff, and leaving campus at 5:15, 5:30, times I get home, it's dark. Sometimes I get halfway home.
And I do wonder, like, aside from what happened to her was the act of somebody else, right? They need to be punished for the act.
Right.
But the conditions that she was in, are they conditions that we're trying to change, or we just want to make sure our children can exist in those conditions because that's the reality we have, where children have to walk home in the dark, and we just want to make sure it's safe for them to do that? Or should we be working so they don't find themselves in those conditions? Like, which one comes first, the chicken or the egg?
I don't know. Sorry.
Why are you saying so? No. We got lots of comments. Can we read that while you put your thoughts together?
No, this is one point, and then you rebuke me. My father, we walked home from school. When I was walking home from school, Lord God, that was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
If Daddy ever imagined we were taking shortcuts, he'd have a conniption.
Yeah.
This idea of going through...
I've told the story of one time I walked through a shortcut and my mummy met me on the way. Because Holy Ghost told her I was going through a shortcut.
Wow.
She was washing dishes.
Yeah.
And she came and she found me and she said, I knew you came this way. Come, let's go home.
Wow. Yeah, so we weren't allowed to do shortcuts. Now, of course, when he ain't looking, we used to walk from Sage Reefs to Island Kitchen, Palm Beach Street, and the only time you hit a main road is when you cross and go through another shortcut. So you shortcut your way straight across until you get over. But if Daddy dreamed, we were doing that. So I wonder, is it acceptable now? Is that even a thing for people to have to walk home? Do they have those kind of rules in place?
But I think,
I don't even know.
With shortcuts, I mean, in terms of that case, like to get to a house, like you walk into, that's the path.
But that's another thing.
So ain't that a shortcut? That's the path.
That's the road.
That's what I'm like. That's
the path
so
to get
what's
there.
the problem we fixing? That's what I'm like. What's the problem we fixing? Because the reason you don't walk through shortcuts is because we're worried about people who do bad things.
Right.
You can't get rid of people who do bad things.
Right.
As long as there's heaven, as long as there's hell,
Right.
people are going to be doing bad things.
Right.
So I guess making sure our children don't have to walk through shortcuts, making sure shortcuts don't exist.
You can't
So
make sure
what's the?
We gonna find a shortcut.
So what's the?
One of my shortcuts was jumping over a wall. We used to jump.
I have to wait to get over this.
I always think it's no road.
At this point, that's not even a shortcut.
We used to
I have to wait to get over this.
That's too much work.
I think it was Washington Street, or was which one? Pedolio. One of them we had to jump over a wall. You jump over that wall and you cross over. You keep on going. No, it was Lincoln. When you had Lincoln. By Monara, by the church.
On the back there. By
firing them, Monara.
If you had walked the long way, you would have made it home at the same time.
No,
you to be jumping over walls from CH Reeves to Island Kitchen.
Yeah.
That's just straight.
No. Them shortcuts make it faster.
First of all, no one walks to Palm Beach Street. Nobody goes to Palm Beach Street. I don't know. Everybody's walking down Palm Beach Street.
No.
You wasn't going down Palm Beach Street. You were just going like a little to the top piece.
No, you turn off.
You turn off.
And otherwise, I mean, for me, like I had to tell like mommy know the route I would take to walk home, like in case, and like it happened for like if the rain come down, like she would drive to the little bit because like you supposed to be tree. So I know I come straight on Robinson Road, I turn through Lincoln Boulevard, then I turn on the Balfour.
You used to do Lincoln?
I do Lincoln Boulevard, yeah.
No man, we used to come out. I used to do Pedolio.
I had 3 girls to walk with.
My show just got
I had 3 girls to walk with, and I used to drop off, and then head off.
I got you.
Washington Street, Miami Street, and then Palm Street.
Yeah.
You had to think twice to save you.
I had a watch one dog by me, and I lied. I told him I going to another road, but actually the sign said beware dogs. I didn't want to watch it. And dog by me. Yeah.
He's like, all right, beware that one.
Yeah.
Let me read these comments or we can be here all day.
Beware dogs.
It's nearly 4:00. Bishop, I ain't gonna lie to you, sir. They would have gone to God with that mental whatever they had. If they are diagnosed or have a history of these things, it's a real problem. There are no do-overs after death while they continue to live their lives.
Have a good day.
I think he was talking about. I don't know. Jody Ann said, where do they go after they are treated? That's the big one. Where do they go after treatment? Richard asked the same question. Do we just slap mentally challenged on anyone that seems off? Oh, you read that, Delton?
Yeah.
Jody Ann said, one thing I think we have not truly considered is the fallout of recent events like Dorian and the... She's using big words I can't use.
Sequelae?
I'm not saying it, though.
What do you mean?
Including addiction and homelessness. So like fallouts from major events like Dorian, COVID, and their impacts on people's mental health. Those things left unaddressed. Those things left unaddressed can incapacitate people. We could give people with mental health medication all day. If we can't get them to change their mindset with the power of God, the problem still exists. Because if they stop taking their meds, the problem is still there.
Right. That's everybody we got through all. Yep.
I wonder this thing about getting people to change their mindset with the power of God. I think, and I guess that's a topic for another show. And I feel like Girl Talk addressed this at one point. This idea of like therapy and the church.
Therapy and Jesus.
Therapy and Jesus, counseling and Jesus. How far do we treat mental challenges? Not the stuff that's like diagnosed or, the disabilities, but the challenges like stress, anxiety, which left undealt with can cause bigger issues. How much of that should be the church? How much of that should we allow professionals in the brain and the mind to assist us with? And I feel like the bishop has spoken about this before. I feel like I've heard you address this before. No?
Yeah, okay. All right. What is it?
I feel like it was.
I
guess that's something for another day. I'm an advocate for therapy and counseling.
I want to do it.
I'm a big I did
definitely
when I started doing it. I was like when I had
to be somebody's therapist?
No, I want to see a therapist.
He wants to see a therapist.
I don't do a therapist. No, nobody drop.
I had a period of time. I wasn't stressed, depressed. I had just been around people who had gone through a lot and had taken those steps. And I watched them transform, and I was like, whoa, this looks crazy. I'm going to try it.
I don't know if I don't, and I'm saying this not to attack that whole science, that whole career, that whole calling of being a therapist. But don't say but.
You've already said it.
I'm taking it back.
However.
Because you're going to what? Say however?
No, I wanted to say full stop. I think I think the lack of community has made therapy such a big deal, such a necessity.
Absolutely.
Because I spoke to some of persons, a particular lady, dear friend of mine, who was actually doing her PhD, along with some other friends of hers was there, and we were having a conversation, and they said. And I was telling them, man, I think I'm getting ready to start pastoring. I'm not pastoring yet. And I need to probably do a degree in this. And they said, no, you don't. Jan said, you do this for us now. Like, because I thought, like, she's talking to me. She said, all we really need is someone just to hear us. Mm-hmm. Just to really hear. And oftentimes she says this to my clients. And if I call her name, a lot of listeners will know who she was. Because she's very well known as a therapist and counselor. She says, for the most part, I just allow them to talk. A space for them to share where they feel safe. And the scripture talks about it. There's out for that in scripture. There's out for that. That says confess your faults one to another. That whole idea of reconciliation, of just being able to just confess. To just confess here means to say confess means actually to purge yourself.
I wonder, you say lack of community. How long has that existed though?
No.
Yeah, because I also feel
obviously it did from James' time. Yeah, because James said it wasn't happening then.
It has made therapy such a necessity. But I feel like we've been lacking community for a long time, and not just lacking community, lacking quality community.
That's the thing. If the church done right,
but you know what it is? Quality community requires quality people that are emotionally and mentally healthy. Because you can have a bunch of friends, but everybody going through it, so you can listen. Like it's that's why I feel like I feel it's. Again, chicken and egg. Quality community is bad, but then the people in the community, they all going through it. So you have a community, but can you trust the community with your issues?
Think about it.
Why lodges have attorneys that's
think about it. You got Vera and Delton.
This is a good topic, by the way.
Vera, Delton, Denzel.
For a day when we have lots of time.
Let's say we had 30 therapists in life, trained, certified. None of us would go to them because we don't want to go to the familiar.
Too close. I ain't doing my business.
I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to say.
I feel like there are characters I would go to. But I understand. I'm not disagreeing with you, but because they could go to library, they might not be my friends.
That means the point is that somebody distant. We can do it, so. it's really just finding somewhere where I could just have that brain diarrhea.
For me, what I found, I went to a Christian counselor, so I feel like that was necessary because you understand my perspective in life. Like, I'm not saying things that you can't fathom. But I think what I found beneficial was, it was a lot of listening, agreed. It definitely was a lot of listening. But where I feel like you needed emotionally, mentally healthy people to vent to in your community is, she asked pertinent questions. She asked really good questions that made me sit and reflect and then talk myself into a solution. Very rarely did she offer solutions, if ever. But it was always, she knew what questions to ask. She knew what questions to ask. But then I guess because she was listening, she listened well enough to know what questions to ask. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, they're necessary. So I'm not poo-pooing on that career path at all. But I think it's I think Kingdom.
You've got to be emotionally intelligent to be able to ask these questions. Though.
Kingdom done right captures that. I think it's captured.
I feel like we have a generation of Christians who are doing that better. I feel like I look at my niece, I look at some of my godchildren. Yeah. They're part of like early 20s. I feel when I watched them, I was like, that's really healthy. What you guys have got is really...
I mean, I know you got to go, so I don't want to jump deeper, but not to think about it. I mean, we just didn't use the word, but I mean, what was Laura? Therapist.
That's what I was saying. That's one person.
So we actually did have therapists. I guess they just wasn't called therapists. I heard stories from you. I heard stories from Marisha when she's growing up in her church back then, and all the churches had a bunch of therapists. We just didn't have the name therapist. But there was. I mean,
call them mothers.
Call them mothers. I mean, Titus talks about it. Titus talks about the aged women. So women, they were actually therapists. We just didn't call them that. Yeah. We were blessed. We had when John Davis Jr. and all them used to come by Palm Beach Street. I had therapy. Linda Wallace and all them, Rob Sanders and all these men. To meet them, they come by, and you actually went to therapy with them. So, amen. Like right now, I just have therapy.
Had a good session.
Yeah,
$60.
You're gonna start one. You say?
I just had it just now.
160, please. 160.
I got you. Give me a PayPal.
And then but that leads back to the point that you take for granted the impact that can be had on someone who doesn't have these things that they don't call therapists, but they're there. So I'm happily healthy in my mind, in my emotions. There's a lot of people who just don't have this. So those are the people who are mentally challenged. Yeah. And understandably so.
I think, for example, if I actually put out there an announcement that any of you in need of therapy, you can come and see me.
Sir, you've gone too far. People who want a hug.
Oh, sister. People who just need a hug.
Yes, you saw that, eh?
I just want a hug. That's all.
I still
that's on the lowest level.
Yeah.
You and I connecting only physically, and how much that's necessary for me.
I talked about it with my guests who went down yesterday. I told them about it, and I almost came to tears again. There's still a part of my brain that hasn't processed that yet. What happened to Sunday?
And what that implies about people and what they need and what they're lacking.
Right. And your own before you
Juliante, we used to call them wise counsel. Let's call them church. Just wise counsel.
Wise counsel, yeah.
Wise counsel.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to me. Because I'm pretty sure you can get right down and walk off.
Thank you for riding with us. Delton, we need to announce our next. What's our next show's topic? Because I feel like we've got so many videos and so many.
Yeah, we got a lot of videos to go through, a lot of things to go through. I guess we
never talk about Christmas. What are we doing? What are we doing there?
What are we doing with Christmas?
Yeah, that's the whole idea of Christmas. You know, y'all never. That's what deep. Y'all never.
The idea of Christmas.
I mean, like the
date? Movement of anti-Christmas people is becoming bigger.
If there's a holiday attached, just leave me alone. I don't understand why you anti-holiday.
The Christians who are like, I'm not participating.
Don't do it then. That's okay.
Yeah.
Each to his own. God for us all.
Y'all run into them.
Each man for himself.
But that movement growing, but people, I'm not doing it.
Only Joe went inside.
I haven't encountered them.
No, I ain't encountered them either.
How old are they?
A little younger than me and a little older than me.
I know the anti-triers. The anti-triers.
Oh, that's a big one too, but.
Yeah, I know
they've been around long though.
Yeah, that wouldn't be long.
My old bishop was an anti-trio.
I kind of anti in church trio.
Yes, you are anti-imagery in church.
Yeah,
I feel like that.
And I see more than on them pulpit. What you doing?
Meanwhile, in your house, 50 feet.
Yeah, one of my house. Yeah,
50 feet tree there.
That didn't need to be said.
Yeah.
Nobody else got.
Anybody asked?
None else gone, though.
Yeah, not the church house. But you come trash and go, I got one up in there. Big boy. And it looks mighty nice.
Yeah,
you got a little party this tomorrow.
Yeah, she have a date. She gonna rally and Sally
and then people going on vacation.
Shake up herself. Oh boy. Don't say what that happens.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
Thanks, guys, for chilling with us. It's been a good time. It's been real.
It's been fun.
It's been real fun, guys.
We're gonna be back on time next week, Delton.
On time, 11:45.
Yes.
I don't think no baseball inside yet. I don't know. No one else.
But once baseball starts, it's gonna be out of our hands. So we're gonna do our very best.
Hopefully not, man. I've been
You just want to hang. Sit down. Bro, just chill out.
Oh, that.
How? Because they were posting in the group.
Wow.
Where you been? Okay.
I'll talk to your boy. Is that serious? I'll talk to your boy. I said, man, come on, man. That right there. I was like,
Anyway, it's time for us to sign out. Thank you so much for rocking with us. For those of you that are stuck with us for the entirety of this show, you guys are the best. We thought we'd go extra long because we've been gone extra long. Next week, we're going to be back on time, 11:45 on the live. No slacking on the ship.
That's what
and we're going to keep our show to 1.5 to 2 hours.
Yeah, no longer.
Amen.
No less, definitely no more.
That's it. That's all. So y'all do well. Be
great.
Go to church.
Have a great weekend. Go to church
if you haven't been already. I really was thinking about it. I could be a 7-day. We say this all the time, but no, I thought about it. No, but I deeped it. As we say back in the day, I seriously deeped it, and I thought if my husband comes from SDA, no problem.
7-day. Listen to me.
Speaking of husband coming from SDA, we need to talk about the post where the women say, If I marry you and you want me to leave, my church is not happening. We got to talk about
next week. People next week.
We got to talk about that.
So we do it next week.
Got to talk about the women of God who refuse to leave their church.
I ain't leaving my church for you. So that's let you know.
So what's the plan? You gonna go to two different churches?
You go to you. I go to mine. Or hopefully we start at 9. You start at 11. So both. But I know one thing. I ain't gonna smash. You could do. I mean, watch on that anyway. We'll dissect that.
We need to dissect that.
That on the next week of the Saturdays.
In addition to the people who fighting in church.
Yeah, right. And then we talk about that, and then we go on Christmas break. We doing a break? Yeah, because then that Saturday you can't have no show at the 28th, because that is booked solid.
What we doing? I don't know.
What we doing? Probably doing something we doing now, just not here. So we got to the 28th.
Why not have a show on my birthday? Why not?
You tell me.
Why not? I'll do it.
We still have to plan our thing, so we stay tuned next week. We're gonna plan our drive about. We are live drive about for the Christmas lights.
When we doing that?
I don't know. Right now, the Bastians their hands full. So I don't know if the Bastians.
Real talk. Congratulations! We did not shout out the Bastians.
So shout out to the Bastians.
They've welcomed their princess, the second baby
in the same
Mr.
year.
Bastian posted a status that made me want to run. He posted and he said, "Last year I was not anybody's daddy."
2 and 1.
He didn't even say the rest. He just said, "Last year I wasn't anybody's daddy." What is it God can't do in 1 years ago?
Last year.
A whole 365 days. What is it God cannot do? He can change your location. He can change your status.
2 in 1 year.
2 in 1 year.
In 1 year.
But I get into 2025 excited. That status blessed me. By this time next year.
By this time.
Y'all ain't even going to recognize me.
All right, guys. Y'all be safe, man. Have a great weekend. What's left of it, go to church tomorrow. Of course, you can join us at CH3. It's 9:30 a.m. We get started there. You can hear
Y'all, I was supposed to be somewhere at 2 o'clock. So
she was. And I told her she could leave by 2:30.
We started at like half an hour.
So good, so grateful.
I got no complaints.
Yeah, man, y'all be safe. Oh, wow. Okay, I got scared. I didn't see him come in there.
I did hear another human outside.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, y'all be safe. Have a great Weekend was ever's left of it. I've been Delton.
I've been Vera.
We've had a good time, guys. Catching up on what's been missing. We'll see y'all next week. Hopefully, by the grace of God.
Make sure share it next week. We need these numbers to double.
Share it. We can put the fly out there. We can put things out there.
We can do better.
Yeah.
Are we really going to?
Hit the studio in a mood to create. I'm still living by my fate, yo. I got no complaints, even if he doesn't show up, he done showed up. Every day's a blessing, even when it ain't no kosher. When I be where I wanna, by grace I'm getting closer. Tell my problems he's Jehovah. I'm just grateful it ain't over. He's still working on me.
I've got no complaints, no, no. You